Like the people on stream chat are also asking.
I don't like these people. Okay.
Okay.
It said it was offline when I started it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we are live and they can hear us.
Okay.
Send the link.
Okay. I think Demerciful sent a link.
Yes, it's disabled, yeah.
Where did he send?
In stream chat. In stream chat. I'll just forward it everywhere. Just give me a second. Yeah. 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 You're saying it right.
Uh,
Hi guys.
Okay, so first we actually started off with the Battle Frontier, which was designed to bring in cities which could host gyms for the Tower of Mastery. So we wanted 8 strong gyms for the Tower of Mastery, and we wanted 4 gym leaders per gym. So the Tower of Mastery is it's sort of like the gym challenge in your original Pokemon games, which you probably have played on the Game Boy or the Nintendo DS and other. Oh yeah, yeah. Even in the anime, so like as you can see, Ash he challenges each and every gym leader in a specific region. So we wanted to do something similar for our country, India, and that's how we decided on getting 8 different gyms. So we asked. like for now, with the exposure that we've got, I mean, we feel like we actually can take it abroad as well. But for now, we are focused only on India, and yeah, limiting. Yeah,
I think last I checked, it was 67. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I think I started doing. I've been doing tournaments since the server started because I was also doing the Mumbai tournaments. Um, and yeah, where basically I don't live in India, but when lockdown started, I thought it was an interesting tournament to join. So I was looking for a really large local tournament that I could do, and then I enjoyed doing the first one, so I've kept doing them, and it's been a fun community to be part of. It's been quite a nice opportunity to do the tournaments on this server. Um, I'd say the community, the PvPHQ India community is really it's got a huge number of features going on compared with some of the other tournaments some of the other tournaments I've done. Some of the other ones I've done, it would just be they'll just be the tournament they'll do each month for the Silver Cup, whereas on the India HQ one you've got so many more activities going on. You've got the gym system, which is quite new, and it's quite an interesting meta as well. I haven't seen anything like it anywhere else. So I think it's quite a well organized community. Yeah, that was right. Yeah, yeah. I participated in the final at the end. Yeah.
no
Right.
mistake.
Hi guys, actually, I have been doing PvP HQ from Battlefront IR. Only through Battlefront IR I came to know about PvP HQ, and they have conducted so many tournaments. They are all what to say, very open for everyone after lockdown because we get to do remote battles. Um, the Tower of Majesty, actually, I was interested in participating the first season as well. And I have asked other players, my friends of mine, about it, and we got a very good team for the first season. So I wanted them to go with it. They did pretty well. I was helping them with the teams and all, and I get to know about the Tower of Mastery as well. Austin from Chennai was representing Tower of Mastery. He did pretty well, I guess. To be honest, I inspired Austin.
Yeah,
Okay. Shiv, if you could just, just mention a few things once more just to make sure your audio is audible to everyone else.
Alright. As I said, I have come to know about the PvP through Battle Frontier. Battle Frontier is like city-wise we do the team to cup snobs and we play between us. It's like HP has very good players and we decide the winner through that. From Battle Frontier, we get to join the Tower of Majesty. In Tower of Majesty, we build gyms for every city, and 4 leaders will be representing every gym. And first season, I was taking care of Chennai, and from Chennai, I picked 4 players to represent the Tower of Majesty. And I made sure those guys did very well. And from Tower of Mastery, Austin was representing Chennai, and I hope he did very well.
All right. Okay. Great enough. And I'm actually curious if my viewers can hear me across or not. If somebody could just kind of confirm if I'm audible. Okay, great. All right. So seems like we are all audible, and what we have across is a quick video in terms of what has led us to the final stream today. Okay. So let me kind of quickly play that for everyone. All right. All right then. Okay, so that was a quick, I guess, mashup of what exactly Tower of Mastery is and what you guys have been speaking about. So, in a very small brief, what I've understood from Diamond, it's pretty much you had 8 cities across India which were identified as gyms. You would have 4 individuals as gym leaders, and that there would be certain type restrictions for the gym leaders, and anyone could actually go ahead and challenge them. But you would have to beat all 4 gym leaders in one go in order to earn that badge. And this went on for the entire season. And throughout the season, there were certain gym leaders which were doing probably some of the best, and there were certain challengers who were doing some of the best. So, Diamond, if you could very quickly tell us how we kind of came into these top 8 individuals for our finals today.
Okay, so like there were there were a few gym leaders who performed extremely well. Like Austin from Chennai, he had a win rate of about 71.43%. Like out of the 35 games he played, he won 25 of them, losing only 10. which is surprisingly good considering the format is. It's sort of like it's easier for the challengers, and yeah, it's easier for the challengers to beat the gym leaders, but like at a certain point, they need to win 3 games in a row. So winning 3 games or three games out of 4, it's sort of tough. Like having that to be done. Then we also had Sandy, who had like the third highest win rate, which was 65%, and yeah, like we had many gym leaders like that who had really high win rates with
So did we have some sort of elimination prior to these finals? Was there something done in order to get across on that?
so like for the gym leaders since they were battling non-stop throughout the entire 2 months, um, it was sort of like we chose the gym leaders who had a win rate of above 35%, and all gym leaders who had a win rate above 35% were requested to join the championships. And um, along with that, we also had the challengers. So we had all challengers who had won at least 2 badges, like 2 out of the 8 badges, and yeah, we also invited them to join the championships. So yeah, those then from the championships we had like a format from where we selected the top 8, and you can see the top 8 right now. So yeah.
All right. So basically, individuals who did well in the qualifiers, the tournament qualifiers, they are the ones who've actually made it to the finals here today, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, great. So I also understand that the tournament was having a unique meta across, which was specifically made for PvP HQ.
Yeah. So the qualifier tournament had a very unique meta which was designed based on the typings of each gym. So we selected 10 meta Pokemon from each gym. So we had like 8 gyms. So that would be like
80.
80.
My maths ain't very
80
good, but
Pokemon. Yeah. So 80 Pokemon in total, and we had yeah we restricted them in such a way that no Pokemon was repeated in another gym. So like every Pokemon was unique to a certain gym, sort of like the world championship meta which they had, and yeah, we tried to follow that a bit, and yeah, so
somewhat
every
like
challenger.
somewhat like basically if you're choosing from one particular gym, then you cannot repeat certain mons, right? So for example,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
had like Azu or Registeel in one, you had to pick any one of them, right?
Yeah,
So
something like that.
and I understand that after that the final one which we are having right now, this is based on a draft pick where each and everyone had to, because I saw in the video the finalists who were there, they were all having their draft pick tournament mons as
Yeah.
well, correct?
Yeah. So the finals was a draft with a top 20 ban. So we banned the top 20 from PvPoke, and then we had a draft wherein we selected the top 8 based on the performance in the qualifiers, and yeah. So
And then you did the draft
that's
pick
how,
on the basis
yeah,
of that
yeah,
seeding.
and then
I'm not really happy, guys. I mean, top 20, you guys are leaving out the main mons across. I mean, I would have loved to see a couple of Swampert and Venusaurs across. But I guess that just makes it exciting in the sense that it shows how well all the challengers here know different mons, different matchups. And even if these are not the core meta, they're still able to kind of work around and play with these particular mons. So I'm excited to actually finally jump down to matches. So what we are having today will be in this particular tournament, we will be live streaming across the semi-finals. But however, before the semi-finals itself, we had a lot of very interesting matches across the table. So let us kind of jump into these matches and see how it goes. What do you guys say?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
All right, we have with Nessa, Shiv. You guys with me?
Yeah.
All right. So jumping in across to our first match across. We actually have Waylord against Mew. So this is Sark versus Bibin, as I understand, and I believe Bibin is the one who's actually brought in Waylord. You really did not give the guy much options, did you? And I think this is the first time I'm seeing a Waylord across in a PvP battle, like in a competitive sense. And Mew over there spamming across Dragon Claw. And he manages to take across the shield. And Waylord has Surf and an Ice type attack. So that's an interesting bit. I mean, it can hold its ground, at least fight back against a Grass type Mon. But I guess it doesn't really hold much of a candle if in case it meets an electric typing. So here we see, Surf actually does quite a bit of damage. So the interesting thing with Waylord, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's mainly the HP which is extremely high and the defense ain't all that well, which is the primary reason I think we don't see Waylord all too much in most of the PvP tournaments. Okay, and Sark has managed to...
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So Sark has managed to take both the shields of Bibin here, but Surf should be doing a reasonable amount of damage. And it's actually, I'm shocked at how well Waylord is performing.
It's damn nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it took out one shield, brought down one Mon. And a Shadow Gardevoir. That's just nasty, man. Look at how much damage that charm is particularly doing. But it's such a slow charging move that it just takes forever to get your charge moves ready. But you can see Sark carefully shielded, saved his shield for that particular Mon.
Yeah.
He'll have to go with Psychic across on this. Couldn't make it. Noctowl is able to... it should be able to take out this Gardevoir with this Sky Attack.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a Shadow Gardevoir, so...
And at the back over there you have a Blaziken and it's actually able to take out Sark across. So good match across on that. I was shocked with how well Waylord was doing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, have you actually used Waylord before?
I mean, I don't know, like...
We have seen a different match.
The world has been landed, that would be different.
Alolan Raichu would have just destroyed it.
True.
We have a next match which is between White versus White Walker versus Zubzo, and we already see across the lead. Let's see, the match sort of started playing across, so let's see how that goes. So you see a Pelipper. Pelipper has really taken a lot of people's attention along with Zapdos with that Drill Peck. Now,
I think Zapdos was especially popular last season in GBL, particularly before Galarian Stunfisk became popular, but now his matchup against Galarian Stunfisk is so bad it's a little bit less popular than it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it can do anything against Galarian Stunfisk, man. I mean, it resists the Sky attacks, it resists the Thunder like anything. It just eats Thunder for breakfast. And it's going across. Yeah, it's not really doing much. I always see Alolan Marowak as not that of a bulky Mon. However, whenever I see its matchup against some of these Mons which it resists, like Registeel especially, I am like shocked at how it can take those damages like as if nothing happened.
Yeah.
It's not as bulky as famous tanks like Umbreon or Bastion, but its bulk is still above average.
Oh, all right. Have you guys managed to get any nice shiny Alolan Marowak in the recent Go Fest event?
Yeah, I got 2.
I hate you, man.
Unfortunately,
Two shiny that's good.
Yeah, I like tried
Oh, the
my
craft
heart out,
and
couldn't.
craft.
And this is another one of the banes of Go Fest, which you see here.
Yeah, Pelipper having a spammy with the ball.
Yeah, but it will be resisted across.
Yeah.
So surprisingly, owing its dark typing, it does lose to a lot of fighting type mons. In fact, in Catacomb Cup, we could actually see Pseudo Udo kind of coming right on top across on that. And Pelipper really actually putting to work across despite being resisted. But yeah, so Dragon Breath, although deals a lot of damage, its slowness to charge energy, makes me want to favor sometimes other fast moves. And this is actually coming quite down to the wire.
Yeah.
And he's able to get to another body slam. Shit, this body slam should be enough to actually take out that Steelix. Oh, and the video got cut out across over there, but that body slam would have definitely been sort of enough to take out that particular Steelix. That was actually quite an interesting matchup with Zwelius, Alolan Marowak, and Zapdos, which he had actually kind of come across with. And Pelipper also
actually switched out initially with the Zapdos. You could have saved Zapdos. You could have bought around in the first section.
Yeah, but the opponent had opponent had switched out his Pelipper. He should have probably saved that Zapdos for Pelipper, and that would have actually made the matchup a lot more this thing. But maybe at the back of the mind, he was wanting to save across his Marowak for some reason. I don't really understand.
One more reason is maybe he would have thought Zapdos can't play for any other Pokemons. If he couldn't win this advantage, so maybe he would be having a tough time facing skills.
Yeah.
Right.
Zapdos can't do anything in Steelix, so yeah.
Well, let us very quickly take a look across on how actually the leaderboard is kind of looking. So we see that so for the first match, Sandy had won and Sapteki had won against Bibin. So the match which we saw Bibin winning across in that one match, but I guess Sark was able to win in the remaining matches. Right now, the one between Zubzo and White Walker, it seems White Walker has been knocked down to the lower bracket. Across. So next match is between Rahul and Austin. So let us jump into that particular match and see. Okay, here. So Rahul versus Austin. So we see a Dragonite lead into a Medicham. Okay.
It's not a matchup you see every day.
Oh boy.
So here's the thing. I would really see things in favor of Dragonite. However, with that Ice Punch, which is going to be double super effective, very good call on shielding. So he knows that the opponent could be carrying Ice Punch. So good call on shielding across. And the opponent decides to swap out and lose the switch advantage. I'm not sure. And
there's a mistake there. It should have been switched to the Whiscash there.
Yeah, right. I mean, Fortress, Rock Throw is going to be dealing, I guess, neutral damage across on Fortress.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah. But I guess he's trying to go for Earthquake on this to try and get super effective. But with the shields up, I don't think that's a very good idea because it takes a long time to get to those Earthquakes. and I think Probopass will go for a farm down on this. Is able to get to the mirror shot, and the opponent knows it's not an earthquake, so it will just tank it and barely does anything. But the attack fell, so that's something. So all it can go for is Rock Slide against the Swiss Cash. And, for the longest time, like initially when I wasn't very well aware with PvP, I used to think Thunder would deal at least neutral damage. But Thunder is double resisted by ground type, so it's actually resisted by Viscash, despite the water typing being weak to it. So Visca is just farming things down across over here. It just has so much energy.
Actually, you could have switched to Visca in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually the opponent shouldn't have taken out its Medichamp. He should have stuck in with that Medichamp.
I think he was trying to limit the farm, because otherwise the Wizcash would have got 80 or 100 energy out of the Probopass if it hadn't switched up.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the first part where the Medichamp was leading against Dragonite. He could have he could have gone for shield and ice punches constantly. Ice punch might have taken out Dragonite completely, right? If it hit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
So even if it's not Medichamp, Process will take care of Dragonite. That's
right.
why it's like
Right. I mean, he had Frostlash at the back as well.
Yeah.
Oh, but and he has no shields for Frostlash. So and if you guys know from the previous Silph Cups, Frostlash needs its shields.
It's very clumsy. It's very clumsy.
And all that extra energy which Viscash has farmed.
Yeah.
It's going to bite Process in the rear really bad. I think it won't. Will it KO this at this range? It should.
It won't quite. It'll take it low enough.
Yeah.
It's going to be a close game. It's going to be very close. But I think the worst case gets it.
It's not able to get to that avalanche. If it got to that avalanche, it would have been. It would have been a different story. I mean, that was. It's like, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Oh man. Okay, but that was a very interesting matchup across Austin versus Rahul, right? And okay, so I guess Austin probably wins that one across, and Rahul kind of goes down across to the lower bracket. The next match which we have is actually from the lower bracket itself. And this one is between Bibin versus Darth. So both of them have actually lost their first match set. And will we see another Wailord from Bibin this time around? What are your guesses, guys?
Wailord will be bro. Yeah, he is gonna showcase his Wailord again. I'm pretty sure.
I want hype for that Wailord, man. Okay, so let's jump into the match and see how that goes.
He leads Noctowl against Mantine. That's okay, I guess.
Yeah, who wins this matchup? I'm not really sure. If Mantine is running Ice Beam, then probably Mantine should win it.
Yeah, he is running Ice Beam, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the alternative is Aerial Ace, I think, which Mantine has, which is just such a bad charge move. So I think...
Yeah, that wouldn't have much chance there.
Right. I mean, I think Ice Beam just does better even as a neutral damage.
Yeah, I think I was using Ice Beam in Forest Cup on my time.
Well, that would make the two of us. I'm glad to know I'm copying rank 67 global in some aspect.
Yeah, the thing is, even though Ice Beam, even though it's not stab, it doesn't get the 20% boost from being the same type as Mantine. It's a decent move, whereas Aerial Ace is a fairly weak move.
Yeah, actually, what you mentioned, even with stab and everything, it still doesn't. And there you see Wailord. And now you see the debuffs which will come from Mantine, man. Oh, attacks well. I mean, don't do this to Waylord, man.
The Waylord can get out, though. The Waylord can bring down the man time. What possibly should have done was bring down the man time with a bit of energy and then switch afterwards.
Yeah, probably it should actually farm it up. It should farm it up.
Yeah, once to get energy off the man time and then switch out to get rid of the bulb being debuffs so that it can
right,
use that energy
but he
on
has
else.
a Blaziken in the back. I guess that's why he's very hesitant in switching it out.
Oh yeah, he has to bring down the man time first. Yeah. But after the man time's gone, he can then remove the deep. Like, there we go.
But then he has to mate with that Machamp. But he did get an extra counter in.
Yeah, he should be. If he gets through the Machamp, he should be alright, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he has 2 shields left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think this Blaziken is good IV Blaziken though.
Yeah, it's not going to make it. The Blaziken's just too fragile. It's taking too much damage from the Machamp.
Is he going to shield this one? He decides to shield. Oh shit! If he doesn't get through this charge move, this is really going to hit him. Oh, he's not able to get through. He lost both his shield and couldn't take out that Machamp. Oh, and he's able to at least successfully water gun it down. And now comes Bastiodon. He really wanted to save his Blaziken for that Bastiodon, I guess. So water type should be dealing super effective damage, but it's not even debuffed, and Bastiodon is just so bulky, man. I mean, even with super effective attacks. Oh, and almost being able to take it down, but Bastiodon is able to reach it straight. Oh, 1 HP and 1 HP, man. It used Stone Edge. Oh shit. Oh, that should have been painful. That should have been so painful, man. He had 2 shields. Opponent didn't have any shields, and he invested both in that Blaziken, and he couldn't get through. Oh.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I suppose he thought he could, with the shield advantage on the Machamp, he'd be able to kill it, and then the Blaziken would get through, but it didn't.
I mean, really well played by Darth as well, where he was able to make the right swaps at the right time, and he just managed to win that one, man. I mean, that's how close these matches are being. I mean, I think you would have probably not thrown that charge attack from Waylord and probably switched into Blaziken before, right, Ness?
What I would have tried to do was get loads of energy off the Mantine, then kill the Mantine with the Waylord, and then switch out afterwards so the Waylord, all the energy you got off the Mantine could be used without being debuffed on something else.
Right. What are your thoughts, Shiv?
As I said, like, you shouldn't have 5 charge moves with the Waylord with the debuff is there. You should have farmed it down, then wait for the switch timer, then you would have switched out to debuff, then you would have brought the Waylord back.
Right. I mean, but still, it kind of came in extremely close, man. I think if he would have just let go of Blaziken there and saved that shield, I mean, that itself would have just changed the game, man.
But the problem there is, like, if he tried to do that, he can't farm down a Machamp. Machamp used to counter it down very low.
So
that's the problem. Even if you have shields.
So Machamp anyways countered it down, right? So he used both his shield to save that Blaziken. So had he, saved up 1 shield, he would have had a Waylord at the back with 1 shield, and on the other end, you would have had a bit of a Machamp which you could farm down, and then you would have had Bastiodon, which you could throw those extra charge moves at.
I think Bastiodon almost killed the Waylord without using a charge move, so the shield, it might not have saved it if it had been close enough to be Smackdown down. So you needed enough help to survive Bastiodon's Smackdowns. You couldn't take too much damage from the Machamp.
Right. But at the end of the day, it was a very, very close match across. Good match across. Unfortunately, I guess Bibin was knocked out of the tournament after that. And let us just very quickly see in terms of where everything lies. So So we see that Austin had cleared his, and here Darth has cleared his. Then we finally have White Walker versus Rahul. In the upper bracket, we can see Sandy and Sark are going to face off, and Zubzo versus Austin Prince. So the way I do understand is people who make it across to semifinals, they are for sure going to be in the Elite Four and in the running for champion, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, all right. So let us very quickly check on the last one for the first set of matches which we have. Okay, so Rahul versus White Walker.
White Walker versus.
Okay, so it's a Quagsire versus Toxicroak. Yeah, so I think this is a very bad matchup for Toxicroak overall.
I think it might be able to, if it invested 2 shields, it might be able to bring down the Quagsire, because I know Blaziken could do, just from his counter damage.
Right.
But I'm not entirely sure with Toxicroak.
And I think that's what
Because Quagsire is not the spammiest Mud Boy, so with the 2 shields, it can just die from counter damage before it gets to the killing charge move.
And Haunchcrow, I don't think is a very good answer to counter users. I mean, it's just so glassy and dark typing. But Steelix is a better answer to Haunchcrow. And it decides to use Bravebird. Oh, look at that damage. I mean, Bravebird not being super effective still took out 50% of the health. Oh, damn. And he's deciding to go shield Hunchcrow once more, going for another Bravebird. Oh, this will actually take it out. So the opponent has to shield over here. All right. I mean, that is a very interesting. I did not expect Hunchcrow to do that well against a Steelix. And out comes Quag. I don't think Quag can survive across on this. Oh, it's actually able to survive, and he swaps out into a Frost Dash to try and. Oh, out comes Toxicroak with a Sludge Bomb. This may not KO it, but it will take it down. Take it down a bit, yeah. So over farming here, but I'm not sure that's a good idea. Mud Bomb would deal a lot of damage on that Frost Dash. And this is where Frost Dash becomes so deadly. Extra energy. So probably will he come with the Steelix or Pelipper? He decides to come with Pelipper. It should be dealing neutral damage, I guess. Water type resisting the ice and flying type being super effective. So Avalanche does 65% damage to that Pelipper. Pelipper having to use its charge move. You just cannot give any breathing room to Frostlash. If you give it breathing room, it will take your breath away. And oh, he was not able to throw his charge move. He had stacked up his charge move on that Quagsire. He was not able to throw it across. Oh, did you guys see that?
I unfortunately lost the video on my end for that battle.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I felt the play was really wise where he saved his Quagsire with the charge move at the end to take it out and swapped out, but the health on it was just so low, it just wasn't able to get to that charge move. And I guess this was Rahul versus White Walker.
Yeah, White Walker. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Rahul had some really, really tough matches across over there. And White Walker sort of able to kind of slip past by and go into the next round. So quickly, if you just look at the matches across on the next round. So for the second set, we have... right. So this is the current setting. We have Darth and White Walker down there in the lower bracket, and from the top four, if it depends, either Sandy, Sark, Zubzo, and Austin. Two of these guys will be kind of
Falling
going
down to the lower back.
right. Okay. All right. All right. So might as well look into the last few matches before we get into our semi-finals. Finally, I'm sure that's the most exciting part across.
Yeah.
Uh, so this is Zubzo versus Austin across. This will determine who will be going across into the Elite Four for sure, and it's Vigoroth versus Gardevoir. Um, so
This is it. Gardevoir's. It can't tank a body slam, but it takes no counter damage, so it can just charm all the way down.
right, because normal types are neutral against charm. So had this been a fighting type, it would have been game over instantly. But he
Right.
is able to get a shield off of the opponent.
I think it can probably survive one body slam, but not two. Yeah, there.
All right, so and Gardevoir is now having. Yeah, tell me.
Garden is especially great.
I mean, I guess the best use for it is to farm down one opponent, use up those shields, and throw the charge move on the next. At least you win the switch advantage. And it did quite a bit of damage to Wigglytuff as well. Oh, and he has a Whiscash at the back. And this doesn't look very good for a Alolan Marowak. And he's able to successfully bait across with a Bone Club. These mud bombs are just like I feel the amount of damage these mud bombs do for Whiscash is just overpowered. So I think he's going to let the Marowak go across. Oh, he's going to shield. He's investing his last shield across on this. And he's going to go for a Shadow Ball here. But I don't think that will KO it.
No.
Yeah, it wanted to. Oh, shield.
But it's a good shield. It's a good shield across. Swaps out across to Abomasno. Abomansno. Man, that name is so confusing. Blizzard is dealing neutral damage, and I was shocked at how much damage it did. Swaps out to Wigglytuff to kind of catch the Weather Ball. Oh, that was excellent.
Ooh. This is going to be close. I think it's going to get to the energy ball.
Oh shit!
Very close. Very close.
Oh, that was really close. That was really close. Yeah. Oh wait, he has a Alolan Marowak, but it really won't help. It really won't help. That switch into that Wigglytuff, I think that was what sort of won this match for him, man. That was an amazing gameplay. Yeah.
He had no other option as well. Wigglytuff can charm him down as well, so he had to fight charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was extremely high intensive match. That was Zubzo versus Austin, and I guess Austin has managed to kind of take across a win on that. That's interesting. I mean, what are your thoughts, guys?
But the start with the Vigoroth versus Gardevoir lead in this match isn't possible, right?
But he did.
Yeah, it was definitely.
But he
It was definitely in the Gardevoir's favour to start with, but then it turned it around with the Wigglytuff farm done and then using the Whiscash.
And I mean, he managed, and to think that on the back you had Abomasno there, and still he managed to like take that win across. So
Yeah.
Very nice match, man. Let's go on to the next one. I think as the tournament progresses, the tougher these matches are getting, man.
Yeah, they look a lot more tougher.
All right. So next match across we have is Sark versus White Walker. So it seems that Sark did not clear in his earlier match. So this is in the lower brackets across. Mew versus Alolan Marowak.
This is a bad matchup for Mew. It can do a lot of damage with Wild Charge, but it can't beat Mark.
Right. That Dark Pulse will just simply take it out, Psychic being so weak.
Yeah.
But Wild Charge does quite a
Yeah,
bit.
that's the best way to play it. You throw the Wild Charge and just get out of there.
And he decides to kind of go for that slug. Gets a shield and switch advantage. The Steelix will be resisting those charms. And Crunch will deal super effective damage. So
at least the Dragon Tails don't do much. Crunch is neutral because of the Fairy Tail.
Right.
Yeah, but still, this is a Shadow Gardevoir, so it will take a lot of damage.
Yeah, that Shadow Ball is going to do a lot. So a good call on Shield across over here. But yeah, it should be able to farm it down, I guess, at this stage.
And Dragon Tails do very little damage.
Yeah, but it has a lot of energy now. It's extremely loaded. And he decides to go for Crunches. Will he shield? Will the opponent shield? It decides to shield, decides to save that Melmetal because an Earthquake would anyways KO it. And he's not able to get to another Earthquake. At least he's able to get to one more Crunch that ways. It does somewhat of a chunk of damage, but Melmetal here, he decides to throw his charge move across. Okay.
The shot is going to be resisted. He can't just farm it down.
He can't just farm it down, true. And out comes Toxicroak. He switches into Mew again. And out comes Muck. But Wild Charge, he goes for a bait. He goes for a bait with Dragon Claw. But even Dragon Claw is enough to take it out at this range.
I think it would just take it out, yeah. It's whether it can get to 2 before the Dark Pulse. I think the Muck is on the Dark Pulse first.
Yeah, so Dark Pulse is there enough to take it out across. Melmetal's Thunder Shock should be enough to farm it down, I guess.
Yeah, it can't do much. Both his moves are resisted by Toxicroak, so I don't think it can get past the Toxicroak.
Right, so
even if it farms down, and it doesn't farm down, yeah.
So the win condition is for it to... Yeah. Alolan Muck is able to take out that particular Mon across. Even if it had managed to charge up its move, do you think Superpower would be resisted? So maybe Rock Throw against Toxicroak back to back, that would be enough?
I can't remember exactly how much health the Toxicroak had, but I reckon it would have just survived, and then the counters would a debuffed Melmetal, the counters would have taken it down too fast.
Yeah, it would have just taken it down. It was at 80% health, I guess. So 2 back-to-back rock slides might have brought it very close.
Yeah, it would have. I think it would have got it down to maybe 10%. I'm not completely sure, but I think it would have just survived.
Right. So the opponent had the right game play in mind, but it just didn't work out with that this thing with the Dark Pulse, I guess. Anyways, let's just quickly take a look in terms of the bracket on how it looks like after this. So with that progression, we see that Zubzo was pushed down into the lower brackets, and right now we just see that White Walker was able to beat Sarkteki. So we see quite a good run for White Walker. He lost his initial match, was able to beat Rahul in that really close matchup, and right now with Sark as well, Sark tried his best to play across, but the Alolan Muck really came into clutch for White Walker here. For the next match, I think we have Darth versus Zubzo, right? And this will be probably the last of the qualifiers for semis. So let us very quickly check across on the final match on that.
It looks something like this.
All right, so for Darth versus Zubzo, I guess this one you see an Alolan Marowak versus Bastiodon. I guess Marowak, as long as he shields once, he should be able to take down Bastiodon. If I recall correctly, I don't remember which cup it was that these two faced off last.
I think Marowak needs a bit of an energy advantage to beat Bastiodon. I'm pretty sure Bastiodon can match shields and win just by using the same number of shields the Marowak uses.
Right.
Although the Bone Clubs are double super effective, it's a weak move, so it's kind of like it's dealing. It's kind of like a decent move dealing single super effective, and then Bastiodon's super bulky and it's super defense.
It's just crazy. I remember the first time Bastiodon had come out in a recent tournament. One guy managed to kind of make a Bastiodon in a day or two, and he just swept the tournament with Bastiodon. Like nobody had an answer. Nobody knew how to deal with it. Even super effective damage wasn't really dealing all that much. So he decides to give up his switch advantage, bring in Mantine, and the opponent brings in Zapdos. Oh, this is not good.
Okay.
So he's going straight for debuffs. He's like, I can't do much. I'm not going to shield. I cannot shield. And the opponent is comfortably just farming it up. I guess that fear of getting debuffed too much, stopped it from going any further. Thunder comfortably just taking out Mantine. But Bastiodon being there at the back, I don't think Zapdos can do much. It's best to probably let it go. Yeah. So, and in response, you have Primeape. So I find Primeape to be really good. In fact, in Sinister 2.0, Primeape is a very good mon across to have.
Yeah, that's nice flash. And he can tell the second boost.
Yeah, it has a 25% chance to boost your attacks by 2 points. That's like huge. I mean, counter itself is such a deadly move. It will become like, I don't know, it will start acting like charm. But Beedrill, all right. I actually sort of missed that a little bit. But Beedrill was too low on health to fight against Alolan Marowak and the Fire Spins. And as soon as it came, it sort of like passed out across. All right, okay, that was. I thought he was going to take the win across on that. So very quickly, just let me check the matches up again. I mean, so this is actually pretty much the last of the matches in our highlights before we get into the main. So we see here that Zubzo was actually able to take out Darth, and we have our four Elite Four, and the champion will be from these guys. Sandy, Austin Prince in the upper bracket in semifinals, and you have Zubzo and White Walker in the lower bracket. And you have, for the fourth spot of Elite Four, you have Darth versus Sark, right? Right, Diamond?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Right. So, and I guess the next match which we have right now is between Darth and Sark.
Yeah, like Sandy, Austin Prince, Zubzo, and White Walker, they are confirmed Elite Four.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is the champion. So, yeah.
So, Nessa, given the matches you've seen, even Shiv, what do you guys think? Like, who do you think are the strongest contenders for who we plan and who we think will come into the finals?
Sandy has got a very good matchup against Austin. So I'm very sure that Sandy will do well against Austin.
And the unfortunate thing is we haven't had a chance to see Sandy in the highlights yet, but we will be seeing him across in the semifinals. I don't really recall his team. What was his team exactly?
He had Do we have a list of all the names?
We had Stunfisk, Drifblim, Ivysaur, Poliwrath, Empoleon, and a Skuntank. So yeah, it's a pretty decent team overall.
Right. I think we will have a breakdown in terms of the team, which will be kind of coming up next. However, before we get into the exact semifinals, let's have find out on who our final Elite Four is going to be between Darth and Sark across. So let's jump into the last of the highlights. All right, so we see a Beedrill lead into a Melmetal. So Drill Run is going to be super effective, and your Rock Slide is going to be super effective. So both of them have a play against each other.
The Rock Slide is faster. I think the matchup is in Melmetal's favour.
Right, and Poison Jab is just going to be resisted by Melmetal. It should be double resisted. So Thunder would also be resisted, I guess.
Thundershock's neutral on Beedrill.
It will be dealing.
It's not. It doesn't do much. So.
Yeah. So the fact that it's able to get to these rock slides quicker is what is not going to be good for Beedrill here. But Beedrill could bait out the second shield from the opponent as well. He decides to go for a bait. He decides to go for this bait so that he can get to the second one. But will that be enough? I don't think so. Rock slide is already ready. Yeah. That was a good attempt trying to bait so that he can get to the other charge move quicker, but just Melmetal. Thundershock is just that good a fast move. And out comes Machamp. Decides to go for a superpower. Should be dealing decent damage.
Yeah, it should do.
It does 60% damage, but Machamp is charged up and you have no shields on the other side. I don't think it will take out Gardevoir with this.
It'll probably be about 60% damage, maybe
80.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
and he has a Lucario at the back. Oh, so good choice getting Gardevoir out over there. Oh, he's undercharging. He wants to really farm across this Bastiodon.
He can't take a flamethrower. He has to remove it before he gets the flamethrower.
Oh, he got to the flamethrower. Oh, this is not good. Had he gone for an excellent... Oh shit, it just takes out that Lucario. It knew its win condition had to be to get extra charge move off on that Machamp across, and unfortunately it really couldn't kind of get there. So tough luck across on that. So if we actually see across who actually so who would actually be our Elite Four, the first one, the Elite Four number 4 is what you would say, right? So I guess Darth is able to take a win across over there, and he is the 4th Elite Four in the Tower of Mastery. So congratulations across on Darth. And right now, I guess we are finally here at the stage for semifinals, right, guys?
Yeah, that's about right.
Shiv, our first match is kind of going to be Zubzo versus White Walker. Let's see exactly what are the matchups. So here we have Zubzo and White Walker, the semifinals one for lower bracket. Okay, so we can see both teams. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, your thoughts?
Zapdos again, it looks good.
The Zapdos is not going to like the Steelix matchup. That's the main problem for the Zapdos, to get stuck on the Steelix.
Even Ninetales, if it is able to throw across that Avalanche.
The ice beam from the ice beam.
Ice beam, yeah.
But wait, does the opponent have an answer to Alolan Ninetales here?
But the Marowak should be fine against it. The Ninetales had chance and knocked out, if I remember. I think. But yeah, the Marowak is the best counter against it.
Yeah, Marowak is good across, and even Alolan Muck, which can kind of counter Alolan Marowak. However, those bone clubs will be dealing a lot of damage across to Muck, so it's not something which will come quite easy. Pelipper, I think, will do fairly well otherwise. Right?
Pelipper should be just what I think.
So basically, it needs to save its Pelipper against Zapdos.
Yes.
Yeah. What about Ferrothorn? Any counters apart from Alolan Marowak? And does Primate beat... Primate should be able to beat Ferrothorn, right?
Yeah, it should be able to,
yeah.
Okay. All right. So given the teams, where's your money, guys? Who are you guys betting on?
I mean, we just saw Zubzo beat White Walker in the upper bracket.
Right, yes.
So I think Zubzo should be able to beat him again.
Zubzo's definitely a skilled player. I've played him a few times and he's been one of the more challenging people I've played.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So it's like
Also, yeah.
you there's a bit of a favoritism going on across to your previous challenger, I see.
Yeah, like yeah. On top of that, the semi-finals and the finals they're gonna be best of fives. So yeah, it's gonna be strenuous for sure. I still feel Zubzo can take it. Simply because he beat him the first time, and those were close matches indeed. So yeah, I'm rooting for him.
All right. And Shiv, what about you? Shiv, your audio is not coming.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I think that White Walker has better safe zone option, and he can do better when he is able to catch teams or maybe catch charge moves. On the side, I don't see Suzu has so many safe shots against his team. So my money is not very good.
Okay, so you're saying certain matchups are good, however, there is no save swap which can counter the counters which are there for the other team. All right, and I guess, yeah, and in fact, actually, interesting fact across, White Walker was also the first individual in Tower of Mastery to get all the 8 badges. So he is a veteran across on that, and this is also going to be his chance for redemption. So let's see. Let's jump into the matches. It's going to be a best of 5, and Zubzo clearly seems to have the majority over here amongst shoutcasters. It's 3 versus 1. So even I personally,
Majority. My vote counts like 4 people. Okay, and I vote for White Walker. So White Walker is gonna win.
I mean, at the end of the day, in one, even if one player's favoured in just 5 battles, the underdog can win.
That's
and actually, I wouldn't call anyone an underdog across over here because
Yeah.
each of these guys are, you need to be careful. And we saw so many close matches, man. I mean, like just that 1 HP, that charge move didn't go through and stuff. So it's going to be an interesting match. So finally jumping into our semi-finals, we have our first semi-final match between Zubzo versus White Walker. So let's get into it. Okay, and we see a Pelipper lead into a Zapdos. That doesn't look all that good across. And you see a swap out happen across with Primate.
Have we lost the video? Oh, got it. Okay.
Okay.
It looks something like this.
If it could have landed a close combat there, that would have done a lot of damage to Ninetales. Yeah, the close combat I think would have been 60% or more damage.
Yeah, interesting decision.
Yeah, but Pelipper is kind of going to get blocked by Zapdos quite heavily, right? These.
Yeah.
Oh, Weatherball. Weatherball hits like a truck.
Hard luck, very fast.
It's about dealing that much damage. Did I see that right?
Yeah, I mean, it did like 60% damage.
Zapdos is very good, but with the type advantage, it wins anyway.
Versus
Okay,
Alolan
going for a
Ninetales. Which is a better move? Thundershock?
Thunders does more damage, yeah.
And I think he has a shield in the back, right? The Alolan Marowak?
Yeah, there's the Marowak's one, yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay, so the first one seems to have kind of gone in favor of Zubzo, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, was it White Walker or Zubzo? Who had Alolan Marowak?
I think it was Zipset, wasn't it? I think so. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not taking
Yeah, I think Zubzo was the one who had the Alolan Marowak.
Sorry, Zipset had the... Yeah, that's right, Zipset the Marowak, yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like Shiv, things are not going in your favor as of yet. But Shiv is thinking in the back, wait, this is just the first out of the first five.
Yeah. It's the best of 5, so you can't
He got hardcover in the league, man. He can't do much. And he wouldn't have anything to stop him also. He just still but he still got on again.
And we can see the second match also kind of come up, and the lead sort of seems to be in Zubzo's favor. So we'll resume with the second matchup in Zubzo versus White Walker. And you see a switch out kind of come in.
Oh, this is interesting, because the Guard Rice spent shields to win this matchup.
I mean, I saw how much damage Weatherball was doing. Now Pelipper should be able to farm. It's a simultaneous KO.
Oh, very close. Okay.
Oh, what will both the guys bring? I think White Walker
if the Ninetales is on the... This is dependent on who comes in the right way around.
Right.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
He'll have
Because the Ninetales has charm, isn't it? So that was the way it needed to be aligned to the...
Correct.
Needed the Muck on the Marowak and the Ninetales on the Pro.
I mean, actually, that choice, that decision determines the match across over there. And this is what we were actually talking about, that Alolan Marowak, despite, Muck being a counter for it, Marowak is... Oh, a good swap. Nice.
Very good start.
He's able to take that. Has so much of farmed energy, goes straight for close combat. Decides not to shield. This will be dealing neutral damage. Oh shit. Okay. But this might be good for them because it allows Alolan Marowak not to farm down too much.
Yeah. Can it get... I think the Marowak might be able to win. I think it's getting close to Bone Club range, and the Marowak might get there first. Does it have that
It's
energy?
able to get second, will it? Will it give? It should
Because they
give,
both
right?
need 2, but the Marowak's have an energy, so.
And it's able to take it down across. Oh, so all right, okay. So that was like two have kind of gone in favor of Zubzo, and that Alolan Marowak seriously coming into clutch across over there.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that was a bad matchup for the Marowak, but it flipped it with the extra energy that it got from Ninetales.
Yeah, I mean, probably I was going to suggest that maybe he shouldn't have gone for that close combat and probably just a Night Slash so that he could farm down more with Alolan Marowak. But I guess he didn't really need it at all.
Right, yeah.
So, anyways, this seems like a really uphill battle for White Walker across. We see the third match. You see an Alolan Marowak go into Pelipper. So finally, a positive lead for White Walker, it seems. So let's resume across on the match. White Walker expecting a swap out coming in. A swap out comes into Zapdos and it's met with a Steelix. White Walker is playing by the books across over here. No need to shield. He immediately dismisses the shield.
I think the Drill Pet might be neither move does very much, but I think the Drill Pet might be the best move.
Right, because Thunder is double resisted across over here. And he's able to get to a crunch before Zapdos is able to get to the Thunder. Deciding not to shield, right call. And he's going across for the Drill Peck. He's going for the Thunder. Drill Peck would have dealt single resisted damage, I guess, right?
Yes, that's right.
And Steelix is just farming now. It's like it's had so much of snacks, it's like full, and Alolan Marowak is going to get the brunt of it. I think he'll take both the shields for Alolan Marowak here. And he decides not to shield. Okay, interesting. He will have to shield this one. Yeah. So he should be able to Bone Club it and farm it down. Goes for the Bone Club. Yeah. That was actually well played. He actually managed to save shield, farm extra energy. So good understanding of how much damage each mon sort of takes. But Pelipper is there. Yeah. So it shields one, but the Pelipper is almost ready with the second one. It's trying to get to the... And White Walker is there with both his shield. There's like... the opponent goes for the shield bait, but it really doesn't matter at this stage, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. White Walker is getting a city card, got the info that he's doing well, so decided to sell him a card as well. And two Charmers going at it against each other, and it's going to be a win for White Walker across on that one. So I guess really a good prediction across. That he realized that Alolan Marowak was the key, and he decided to bring in that Pelipper right in the front.
Yeah.
And
having that Steelix Zapdos hard counter, that was very useful being able to farm with all that energy.
True, I mean, that just sort of sealed the deal. I mean, it was a good attempt in Alolan Marowak, sort of farming it down and getting that energy advantage. But with Pelipper being there with all that energy, it just didn't really matter. So had Zubzo won that, it would have been a 3 game, and it would have been a done deal. But White Walker is still in the fighting across over here. Shiv is counting his cards across on this one here. So moving on to our fourth match, we have a lead across Abo Snowman versus Alolan Ninetales. Who wins this match? I'm not sure.
thing is slightly in Ninetales' favour, but I'm really not sure. Because the thing is that the Ninetales resist the power slows and the weather.
Oh shit, did you see that? Did you see how much Weatherball did? I was going to assume Charm will be able to take it down, but yeah, the opponent is. Will he shield? Yeah, he's shielding. He's going for shield. He's committing to the farm down and is able to farm down that Abomansno and is able to get enough charge move. You'll see. So basically, brought in Alolan Marowak to try and farm down Alolan Ninetales, and he decides not to shield. Oh, that was a ballsy play. Wait, but it does resist both the charge moves. Out comes Pelipper. So he has his Pelipper sort of locked in with Alolan Marowak. How much would a Shadow Ball do against a Pelipper?
I'm guessing about 50-60%.
And
It is quite tanky.
60%. It does 60%. And you see an immediate swap out to Steelix with Zapdos. Oh, he's running. He's like, once he has that Pelipper locked onto Alolan Marowak and Steelix locked onto that Zapdos, Zubzo will have to kind of come up with a different solution. It's going to farm up so much of energy over here. It really doesn't need to shield and just, throw one crunch, have that extra crunch in the back for Alolan Marowak. And Marowak has to throw that Bone Club in order to take out a Steelix, otherwise Steelix will reach another crunch again. So, yeah, these Thunders are definitely not the right way to go.
Yeah, drill base the more energy efficient.
Yeah. He's deciding to go for Drill Peck finally. I don't expect a shield. Let's see how much damage it actually does. Remember, it's it requires lower charge, and it does a little bit more than Thunder, I guess. So out comes Alolan Marowak, trying to farm it down, I guess. He will probably have to shield. His Alolan Marowak is quite low. Decides to save the energy, bring in Pelipper, and use the shield across over here, right? The opponent is without any shield. This Weather Ball should be enough to sort of take it out. And match number 4 should be going to White Walker.
Leads are playing the game more well.
Yeah, the leads have been really playing it across.
And again, getting that Zapdos versus Steelix matchup.
I mean, imagine if Zapdos was able to throw a Drill Peck here and take out Steelix. It would have been like, what? it actually came out quite close on that one.
Yeah.
Right. So this is going to be the 5th and wait. Do we not have the White Walker and Zubzo final match? Because it seems that we are in Austin and Sandy's. Diamond?
I don't know. I guess I might have.
I guess, or I'm not sure whether we accidentally missed it across or not. So how about we take a look in terms of the tournament chart on how it actually turned out. Shiv, it's a little anticlimactic, but we know it was 2-2, but let us very quickly check in terms of so for Zubzo versus White Walker, we see that White Walker was actually able to get his 5th match. So White Walker is actually all right. I guess Zubzo just didn't have an answer to that Pelipper and Steelix combo, which White Walker was bringing in.
Probably have to come back from being two battles down, so.
Yeah. I mean.
He should have won the lead in the last game also.
Yeah, I'm really curious as to what the lead was on the final match. I mean, that would have been different level mind games going on across on that one.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get the video some other time somewhere. But White Walker across over here doing extremely well. It lost out to Zubzo initially, and in the payback matchup, it is actually able to beat Zubzo and actually progress across. So that's like a quite a good run which White Walker is having across over here. So now we are going to after this have our upper bracket semi-final, which should be between Sandy and Austin Prince. So quickly looking into in terms of their teams and their matchups, we have Sandy there with Stunfish, Drifloom, Ivysaur, Polygrath, Empoleon, and your Skunk Tank. Right, and on the other side, you have Vigoroth, Dragonite, Wigglytuff, Hypno. We didn't see Hypno too much in the earlier highlights, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and Fortress and Viscash. All right, thoughts, guys.
I'm a fan of Austin, but still, team-wise, I feel Sandy is really having a very good position. Driven, Ivysaur, they're just too good against him.
This Drifloom will be probably quite scary. It will have chances against Hypno. It will have chances against Dragonite. Even Vigoroth. Vigoroth will deal absolutely nothing to that Drifloom. And I'm not really sure with Viscash, but the Mud Bombs will be resisted because Drifloom will be a flying type. Hence, it should resist that. What about Fortress? I'm not really sure in terms of Fortress. I think um, with the rock throw, I don't recall what was the charge move which Fortress had. Ness, what are your thoughts? Okay, seems like we were lagging slight bit. Am I audible?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. So what what I was basically saying was that Drifloom over here seems sort of overpowered because it can do well against Hypno, it can do well against Dragonite, Vigoroth, and even Viscash up to an extent. And I'm not really sure about Fortress. What do you guys think of this overall matchup, guys?
I think it would be Fortress because if I remember, the Fortress had Mirror Shot and Earthquake. The Earthquake does nothing. The Mirror Shot's a weak move, and Bugbear itself is resisted as well. So I don't think the Fortress would be able to supply that much damage to the Drifloon.
So Wigglytuff?
Wigglytuff I reckon it should be able to beat it. Icy Wind's its most damaging move, but it's not super powerful.
If he's able to align it against either not against Ivysaur and maybe Empoleon, he might be really going good. The rest of the home Pokemons are actually kind of playable in the heat of.
In fact, so probably he'll have to kind of get, Drifloom and Skunk Tank would be a good combo, I guess, overall.
Yeah, that might be a good combo, yeah.
All right. So, guys, where your money at on this?
Yeah, I think Sandy take this.
So yes, I had to put my money on Sandy.
Okay. And Ness, what about you?
I think both of them have answers to each member of the other's team, so I don't think it's only one person's at a massive disadvantage. I think it'll be interesting to see how the two teams play out.
Okay, but if you had to put your money somewhere, because a lot of us lost a lot of money in the last one. Shiv Keshav is quite rich right now. So right now Shiv is deciding to go with Sandy on this one. So what are your thoughts?
I feel like there's more strong picks on Sandy's side, so I'm leaning to Sandy, but I'm not very sure either way.
Okay. So you are sort of in the brackets, but Sandy seems to be in favor across over here, right? And Austin so far has been doing quite well himself, and this will be the first match which we'll be seeing for Sandy. So let's jump in to the matches finally. So semi-finals to upper bracket. Here we go. Okay, so for the first match, Austin versus Sandy. Okay, we see a Dragonite into a Drifloon. Alright,
It hasn't started for me yet.
It looks something like this.
okay, so he decides to swap out into Whiscash and a good shield across on Drifloom across over here. Decides to go for Icy Wind still. You see the amount of health which is there on that particular Drifloom, man. Expecting a
After the
bait.
debuff, it might be able to tank a bit.
Oh, it does something like
Quite surprising why Drifloon is still staying.
Yeah,
Oh.
very interesting. Yeah.
So he was expecting a bait across there, decided not to shield, and it hit quite hard. It is able to take that win.
Well, unless he knew that with the icy wind, he could survive the blizzard at that point.
Okay, and he brings in Empoleon. So Waterfall is generally resisted, but I guess the steel typing on Empoleon resists the Dragon Breath. Going for Drill Peck. I think that's the wiser choice. Will he shield? He decides to shield. He goes for the shield bait, Dragon Claw, and decides to shield. Yeah, this should be in Dragon Claw range right now.
Was there a little bit of lag there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, Austin is actually leading here, surprisingly. So he did go with the core which we were talking about, with Skunk Tank and Drifloon core, and decide to support it across with this thing.
Yeah, but these Dragon Claws, it's just too spammy.
Yeah, I mean, look at the amount of damage. I mean, he needed that Drifloom for this Dragonite here. And shit, man, this Dragonite just ate up the entire lineup of Austin, man. Sorry, Sandy.
Actually, because he doesn't have any other Wishcash counter, so he chose to use Drifloon to fight Wishcash. And at the end, he doesn't have anything to fight against Dragonite.
Right. Well, what was the
And
third?
actually, the stream chat has a message for you, reporter guy.
Right.
And chat has a message for you that it's not Drifloon, it's Driflim.
Drifloom. I know I murder these names like crazy.
You actually said Abo Snowman.
Abo Mansno. I don't know. I clearly stated. I get so confused with that name. I mean, some of these newer generations, I've never seen those shows. Very unfortunately, and I just
Not
totally
a Pokemon fan.
no, I very much am. However, I'm more of a PvP fan these days.
I see.
Yeah, so
Well, it was a good game, say.
yeah, well, I'll kind of rely on you guys to kind of correct me across over here. I'm sure the stream would have butchered me by now.
That's why I waited for the match to end, because then the match wouldn't be visible.
Yeah.
Right. I do understand. Anyways, but this particular match was quite interesting. I mean, I thought Sandy would be pretty much taking it quite comfortably. What was Sandy's third mon?
Yes, I'm taking a like, and both were weak sketch.
Yeah, Empoleon, right? Right.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't have a solid answer for this thing. But if he had double shielded that Viscash, he would have probably still won.
Yeah. Actually, not shielding the Blizzard on the victim, that was huge.
That's what. So Austin decides not to go for shield bait across on that. So good gameplay across there. For the second match, we see. All right. A Viscash lead into Drifloom again. Okay. Alright, he will charge up all the way to Blizzard, but this time he decides to go for a Shadow Ball. And the opponent is also not going to bait and straight just go for Blizzard. And he decides to shield, so good move on that.
Might be better off throwing the Shadow Ball again out of there.
Yeah, actually. He's able to get. So Viscash should commit a shield here, I guess. Yeah. I think Viscash will have to throw a Blizzard here. Right? He won't be able to get to a Blizzard if he throws a Mud Bomb. And this time Sandy decides to shield. He decides to shield this one. And he swaps out Viscash for Fortress. Okay. Trying to go for that mirror shot, I guess. Not dealing all that damage, but attack debuff happening. He decides to go for an Icy Wind, which should be resisted. Yeah, not very effective. Both debuffing. Did he forget what Dragonite did to his team the last round? Going for that mirror shot again. Ideally, Drifloom should farm up and switch out.
Yeah.
And it's still staying.
It's staying in. It should get to this mirror shot before.
Yeah, this is going to kill. The Drifloom has done alright. It's almost killed two Pokemon, so it's done its job at this point.
Yeah, true. I mean,
so this is. Does the Fortress have enough health to get to an Earthquake? Because the Poison Gems really don't do much damage.
But it can't. It just gets to a mirror shot. So yeah, so he's able to poison jab it down. Has a lot of residual energy. I would expect a sack swap into a Viscash, probably a Hypno Bait and sack swap into Viscash, maybe. Oh, all right, okay. He saves that energy across. Ivysaur is going to take super effective from Hypno's confusion. He will probably decide not to shield this, yeah. Power is still dealing quite a bit damage. I was surprised to know that Ivysaur is like a good side green to the actual Venusaur with the Frenzy plant. The first time I had heard it. Are you guys back? I think there was a slight bit of lag.
Yeah, I'm still looking at the. Oh, okay, got it back now.
Right. I've just paused the match and I'll resume it off again. Yeah. So Skunk Tank, he brings in Skunk Tank against the Hypno.
It looks something like this.
Skunk Tank is able to tank it and able to get to those crunches. This should take out that Hypno. And back there, he has all Mons which are quite low in terms of health. And also, he has no Mons left. He's able to actually take it down across. So, pause. Yeah, okay. So, alright. So, the second match kind of goes across to Austin. Sandy across over there.
Yeah, it is good, but still, whenever Austin makes a switch, he couldn't counter switch. He plays the game.
Yeah, he decides to keep the Drifloom. I mean, Drifloom does deal a lot of damage, but he had to sacrifice 2 shields for it as well. So,
in my opinion, if you ask me, Drifloom is actually good against all the Pokemons of Austin. I won't be playing it in the league. I'll be keeping it at the back. I'll be using it like
yeah.
It's more for charge.
Right, probably save your shield.
Even if you lose the lead, you can bring in the Drifloom. You can charge.
Farm it down, get extra energy, and then you can throw it against anything else. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good strategy. Nessa, what do you think?
Yeah, Dripping probably is one of the safest switches against that team. I think his worst matchup was Wigglytuff, but even if the Wigglytuff comes in, at least the Dripping can debuff it with the icy winds, so the Wigglytuff won't be doing so much the next battle.
And you see, it's actually quite a good gameplay in terms of reading the opponent's mind, which we see here. We see a Wigglytuff lead into Skunk Tank, and I'm sure the opponent would have realized you need a Wigglytuff in order to take down that Drifloom. So he brought in his Wigglytuff, and the opponent chose to bring in his Skunk Tank. So that's how the lead is happening. So I think Sandy has read the third matchup quite well, and had this been a best of 3, well, let's see how this match particularly turns out. What say? Let's go. That poison jab dealing a lot of damage. You see a swap into Vigoroth, and he decides to bring in Ivysaur. He didn't bring his Drifloom in this, because Drifloom could just eat away at whatever Vigoroth throws.
Yeah, I would imagine Drifloom's the hardest road counter.
But it's still mind games, like if you have the Ivysaur at the end and if it's a Dragonite, then you might not be doing very well.
Yeah, but Vigoroth will barely do like 30% damage, and Drifloom doesn't really need to shield also, right?
The icy winds kill the Vigoroth, so yeah, the Drifloom does just wall the Vigoroth. Any of his charge moves
And the way I see it over here, he decided to invest his shields into this particular Ivysaur, because if in case they have a Whiscash at the back, right, then it becomes a challenge, right? And had the Ivysaur been there at the back against Whiscash, it would have been probably a lot better. So he should be bringing in his Drifloom now. But I think he expects a Dragonite at the back. Maybe that's why this particular play. And okay, so he's actually completely saving up on that Drifloom to be at the back. He's counting on trying to eat away at the opponent as much as possible. And it is a Dragonite at the back. So it was a good call from Sandy, pretty much. So the Dragonite here has to pretty much farm down. Oh,
Oh my god, that crunch.
yeah,
I get so much.
I guess we'll have to realize that Dragonite isn't the bulkiest of Pokemon.
Yeah.
And Riftbloom with a shield is now switch locked in with Wigglytuff. And
Icy Wind, I think it probably needs 3 Icy Winds to kill it. I'm not sure if 2 is enough. So the question is whether it can get them all off before it gets chopped down.
well, at least that attack debuff is something which will help it.
Yeah, it keeps it longer. I don't know, I think the Wigglytuff might get there. It's looking pretty close.
It won't be getting the
Getting too deep.
He just charms it down.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
charms it down. He just charms it down. Shit, man. I mean, I thought he would have had that in the bag and excellent gameplay, man. Because even Ivysaur had that been in the bag against Dragonite, that wouldn't have been really good for Sandy, anyways.
It was double shooting that you have to flip the battle sometimes being on the Skuntank, it was on the drift and
Yeah, hold on. There's a bit of a audio this thing. Yeah, can I say it right now again?
yeah, the
Looks like we are experiencing a slight bit lag. Yeah, I think everyone's back. I think there was a slight bit lag across on that. All right, yeah. So sorry, Nasya, you were saying something.
yeah, so double shooting. Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
There seems to be a bit of lag across network issues. Can't really help much on that. I hope you guys are able to hear me across on stream. Yeah, there seems to be slight bit net issue, maybe from my end. So hence slight bit lag. Okay. All right. So I guess what Ness was probably trying to say is that he would have tried to save both the shield for that Drift Bloom. Right. So probably I guess he should have brought in that Drift Bloom. Okay. Okay. All right. Things should be stable now. I am not really sorry for all the viewers. I'm not really sure. There seems to be a bit of internet connection, which probably made the connection slow down a little bit. But my understanding is it should be running perfectly smoothly now again. All our shoutcasters, you guys are able to hear me again?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, all right. Okay. So, interesting matchup across over there. A lot of us were heavily in favor of Sandy, but we see Austin take a lead across here with a 2-1 and good mind games which are kind of happening here across. Let's jump on to our fourth match directly. Okay, you see an unlikely lead. You see a Fortress versus Empoleon. These bug bites shouldn't be dealing much damage across over there. Okay, decides to go straight for that Earthquake. This will KO if he doesn't shield. He decides to shield. So good call on shielding across over here. And will the hydro cannon be enough? Oh, does quite a bit, but is not enough to take it out. But Empoleon able to farm it down, get another hydro cannon ready. Dragonite would be a good response across to this. No, he decides to bring in Whiscash, which I think is better probably. That hydro cannon does deal quite a bit of damage, but Whiscash has farmed up, and this mud bomb should be enough to take it out. I think Empoleon has done its job across over here. Out comes Drift Bloom. So this he will probably decide to invest his last shield across over here. Yeah. So good shield bait by Austin will, and he decides to shield. He decides to keep his Whiscash in play.
Whiscash is amazing, man. Just would you just see the chart once?
Yeah. And it's able to take out that Drift Loom as well, and Skunk Tank kind of comes in from behind. And versus Dragonite, we know these crunches can do a lot.
Dragonite.
Yeah. I think Dragonite's spammy Dragon Claw will be probably enough to sort of take this across for a win, yeah? So, and both of them are without shields and is able to farm it down, has extra energy, and Drift Loom kind of just comes in and passes out. So we actually have Austin at a 3-1 against Sandy in a best of 5, yeah? You guys able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a problem with the video, but
yeah. Right now I paused it across, and honestly, I'm kind of shocked. I'm honestly very shocked. Like, you have one Mon which is so good, and the opponent is somehow able to sort of play around that Mon so well that, you know, he finally brings in Dragonite, which you do not have an answer to, or a Whiscash. So I think the answer here was that Drifloom had very little counters. However, your Whiscash and Dragonite, these Mons were such that they had only one very solid counters. Otherwise, they had very little counter on Austin's on Sandy's team, which I think was the key for Austin to take the win here. What do you guys think?
Austin's living that last game was the game of the series. Check out that.
Oh, all right. Okay, so this match, which is a Whiscash versus an Empoleon lead. Austin, you are really putting all the shoutcasters into a spin here, man. All right, so let's jump into the final match between Sandy versus Austin. We have a Whiscash versus an Empoleon lead. Let's see how that goes.
It looks something like this.
Waterfall is such a powerful move, man, even if it is resisted. These mud bombs will be dealing a lot of damage. Oh shit, it deals like over 50% damage. I mean, that's just unfair. It can simply just go for a farm down at this point. It should be able to tank most of Empoleon's attack. And just goes for that farm down. Out comes Drifloom, straight away goes for that particular Blizzard. He decides to shield, so good call on shielding across over here. And he's able to get to another Blizzard. This Viscash is putting in the work. So double shield, so good calls on shielding. He has to take that Drifloom out of scenario, probably throw that Icy Wind. If Viscash shields, get out of there probably. Oh, it's not enough to take it out. Okay, this Mud Bomb should not be doing all that much of a damage. Alright, so here maintaining switch advantage. However, Austin does have an extra shield in play. So coming in with Fortress, I don't see this Icy Wind should be chunking, should not be dealing all that much of a damage, I guess. Yeah, it has to go for those Shadow Balls. Mirror Shot dealing reasonable amount of damage. Yeah, he goes for that Shadow Ball. This should deal, I guess, around about 50% damage, 50-60%. Yeah, 60% damage. Should be able to farm it down. The Mirror Shot will be bringing Drifloom low. I think if it is a Dragonite at the back. He's really trying to go for the farm down, just barely manages. Hypno will be shielding whatever is sort of coming here, I guess. Yeah, decides to shield. Confusion may be enough to take it down. Yeah, he swaps out immediately, not giving it too much of a chance. The Skunk Tank with its crunch should be dealing a lot of damage to this particular Hypno. And this Hypno is running double elemental, so he goes for the Thunder Punch. I don't think the double elemental, double Thunder Punch will be enough to take out that Skunk Tank. And he manages to reach another crunch, and this should be enough to sort of take it out. So Sandy winning it convincingly in the fifth one. So we see probably a 3-2 scoreline here on a Sandy versus Austin. And really amazing play by Austin across over here. What do you guys? What is it you guys think?
Like he played around Drifloom very well.
Like he blizzards every game.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a certain set of skill where you are able to sort of understand how you and where your team is weak, bait out on your opponent's mons, take it down, get that shield advantage, and then take out your mon with what you have in the back. And in a draft sort of setup, you are also limited with what mons you can actually bring into a tournament. So I think Austin did a fantastic job here to showcase that why he is there in the semifinals and now pretty much going into the finals for the Tower of Mastery. I remember, Diamond, you were saying that he did have one of the highest win percentage as a gym leader.
Yes, he had the highest. He had the highest win percentage out of all gym leaders.
Which gym was he the gym leader for?
He was the gym leader for Alamos, which was based in Chennai.
Mm-hmm.
It had the typing of Dark Flying with a ban of Fairy.
All right.
Yeah.
And man, I'm like thoroughly impressed. Nessa, were you able to catch some of the match? I know there was a little bit of lag issue and stuff?
I think 2 or 3 of them. The video was not loading throughout it, but the ones that we saw were the ones I saw definitely interesting battles.
Yeah, probably I think it got streamed across on YouTube comfortably, but probably you guys were not able to see it across comfortably over there. But like really good matches here. We see that Austin has earned his spot, but Sandy is not out of the count yet. Remember, this is a double elimination tournament, and this is Sandy's first loss, and he will be going into the lower bracket. And he in the lower bracket. Let's take a look across on. How and where we are placed in the lower bracket. All right, so with this, we see that Sandy is now going to face off against White Walker, and whoever wins this will be facing off against Austin Prince for the finals. So here is the final stretch, guys. Let's look at what are the teams both of these guys are running against each other. We have White Walker on the left and Sandy on the right. We've just analyzed Sandy's team, but how is it going to fare up against White Walker? Your thought, guys. Are you guys able to see the screen?
Yeah.
So White Walker is running his team of Ferrathon, the Deadly Pelipper, the ever useful Toxicroak. You have your Alolan Muck, which came into clutch in the previous few matches, and then Alolan Ninetales and Steelix. So Steelix here on the opposite side, the only Thunder, the electric type Pokemon is going to be your normal Stunfisk, and Stunfisk is going to have access to its Mud Bombs. And
The Stunfisk does look like a big threat to White Walker's team because it's. I'm not sure I can't remember the fast move on it, but it's threatening to everything except Ferrothorn as a favourable matchup. But even against Ferrothorn, it's not a hard loss.
Right, yeah. So
the Ninetales can bring it down depending on the shield scenario. But yeah, the Stunfisk does look like a strong pick against White Walker's team.
Yeah, right, correct. And the way I also see it is that Pelipper also has quite a good play across overall. Generally, it's kind of like quite neutral. I think it's a very good save swap in this. Even with Ivysaur, it should be able to throw off a few charge moves against it.
But still, they have Stunfisk. Stuns on the board.
Yeah, Stunfisk is the biggest headache. I was like completely ignoring Stunfisk for a second. I was like, okay, Stunfisk is a killer here. Let's see what else is there.
I think Empoleon might have a favourable matchup, but I'm not sure about Empoleon versus Pelipper.
I mean, both of them, I guess, somewhat resist each other. But maybe Empoleon has a higher damage output. Maybe that might be the criteria. So, what will be your lineup of three?
Empoleon has the neutral charge.
Okay, so what would you take as a team of three, for example, against Sandy if you were White Walker?
I think you'd probably have to bring the Ferrothorn very often because that's Stunfisk threat. You might be able to get away with bringing it down with the Ninetales, but that'd be less reliable. The Ferrothorn actually looks like quite a strong pick because it doesn't. I don't think it has a counter at all on the other team.
Right. Even the counter which is there.
It depends. I can't remember if it has Flash Cannon or not. If it doesn't have Flash Cannon, it might get beaten by the other. No, even the Ivysaur is going to be a favourite match, I think. Yeah, it doesn't really have a counter on the other team.
Right, right. I think icy wind would be dealing a reasonable amount of damage, I guess.
The icy winds. The icy winds neutral. Yeah. Maybe the drift is favourable match. I'm not sure on that one. If it has thunder, then that's going to do a lot of tripling. And if it has, even if it has flash cannon, it's still not going to be the worst matchup.
Oh, there is one move. If Skunk Tank has flamethrower,
That is true.
so that could be a play across over here. So interesting. So so right now, I guess it's time to put in your votes. I, for one, I am going bankrupt because all my picks are going for a loss. You had White Walker winning it in the first semis, and in the second semis, Austin pulling off that wonderful win as well. So all our winners are like the unlikely ones. Here you have both the teams. One side you have Stunfist, one side you have Ferrothon, which seems like strong picks on both sides. It's time to put your money, guys. Ness, we'll start with you. Where are you putting your bets at? Ness, are you connected?
Really liking the look of that.
Yeah. I'm really sorry.
And it has a slightly favoured matchup against the Stunfisk itself.
Uh-huh. So you're going with White Walker, okay?
Yeah.
Diamond, what about you?
My bet is always on White Walker now because he has Ferrothon and it's going to be countering most of the commands from Sandy. And one more thing is he has a Charmer, so Polyglot can't be used, and Charmer can also do drift. So Charmer and Ferrothon together will be a very combo.
Acha, that's a good combination. True. Diamond, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, even I'm leaning towards White Walker. Like, the Ferrothon seems too strong against Andy.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
and with the varied moveset, like I mean, Ferrothon, I think it has Thunder as well, but I don't know if he's running Thunder. But yeah, like Thunder can like one shot the drift.
well, very honestly, I am also, I'm also split in between the two teams. But since I have a soft spot for Ferrothon across, so I think even I'll be going with White Walker on this one. So fair enough. Let's see. I guess we should jump into our matches finally for our final semi-finals to determine who is going into the finals for Tower of Mastery. We have White Walker versus Sandy. So let's see. Okay, so we have our leads. We see a Ferrothon as rightly predicted, and it is going against Drifloom. Ness, it's time to find out how well Drifloom does against Ferrothon, and we are starting off our final semi-final match. It will be White Walker versus Sandy.
Like I said, Thunder.
Yeah. But Thunder would be anyway super effective against Drifloom. And on a personal note, even I used to prefer running Thunder. because Thunder used to take the flying types by such a surprise, and usually flying types were the few which were decent against Ferrothorn.
So I think that made quite a big difference there.
Yeah. So he's able to get to another Thunder. The Icy Wind comes in before that. This should not be enough to take it out, but the debuff will really affect. I think I would have personally probably thrown a Thunder and swapped out Ferrothorn for later matches. And I don't think these seed bombs will be enough to take it out. So he's trying to get that switch advantage across over here. So no point in shielding because you're not sure whether you'll survive anyways. So at least he has that switch advantage here. Stunfisk coming in as expected, and now does he have an answer to Stunfisk? He brings in his Alolan Ninetales, hoping to charm down Stunfisk, but these mud bombs. So he decides to go straight for the Thunder. All right, discharge. Does reasonable, but I think if Alolan Ninetales shields once, it should be able to take out Stunfisk overall. Yeah, so it decides to shield this one. Probably charm it all the way down or bring it really low. And you see a swap out. Acha, he decides to throw his charge.
Josh, I think the stream.
I think it should be running fine. Okay, and Toxicroak, Sludge Bomb against that Ivysaur, enough to take it out. And at the end, yeah, it's able to get to that Mud Bomb. Oh man. And that Mud Bomb should be enough to take out this particular Toxicroak. Will it be able to charm it down? Yes. Okay, hold on. I think there is some sort of a technical issue. Let me quickly get a cross check on that. All right, I'm just checking across if that's there. Okay. Is the stream running fine across over there? Is anyone able to check?
It's frozen at Sunfish versus Alolan Ninetales right now.
Okay, right. That's where I have paused it as well. So that should be fine. All right. So
But I mean, we can't see it here.
okay, so I'm just going to kind of hold off. I see the upload and everything kind of going smoothly from this side. Okay. All right, sort of tends to happen sometimes when we have multiple things sort of going on across in the same system. Okay, has it resumed for you guys up to an extent?
Not really.
I paused it right
We're
now.
still stuck at. Okay. So it's paused at Predator versus Stunfisk.
Yeah, right. So this is going to be the second match across between White Walker versus Sandy. Stunfisk was with Sandy, right? And Ferrothon was with White Walker. So the first match has gone across to Sandy, and White Walker has to kind of make across a comeback. Second match, we are able to see him bring in Pelipper, and the opponent rightly judges and brings in a Stunfisk, being confident that there will be no Ferrothon on the other end. So let's resume on the matches. A lot of people were probably waiting in the stream as well. Let's not keep them waiting. So jumping into the second match. So this doesn't look good for Pelipper. You see an immediate swap out into a Toxic Rogue. Alright, and Stunfisk is already there in terms of 2 mud bombs. One mud bomb would probably be enough to sort of.
Yes, keep some the skin though.
And then you see a swap out into an Ivysaur. Ivysaur to catch that mud bomb. Mud bomb does a reasonable amount of damage. But will it shield this one? It'll probably have to get a shield.
Start from more half.
Alright, and Ivysaur is able to get to that power whip. He decides to keep his Toxic Rogue in play. He should not be able to counter it down, but yeah.
The stream on.
The stream hasn't started the match yet.
It's still on Pelipper versus Stunfisk.
Okay. Alright. I've just paused the
Stuck
stream.
since the start. You might have to restart the match.
Okay. Alright, fair enough. We can just restart the match once.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Okay.
It looks something like this.
This is kind of gone back probably to the first match itself between White Walker versus Sandy. Yeah, we'll kind of have to kind of go through this particular match before we can reach the second match. But is this visible for you guys?
But the stream is lagging. The YouTube stream is lagging.
Okay.
Like the long delay.
Okay. I'm actually getting an excellent connection right now. Okay, this is actually the first match which is sort of going across where we see that Drift Bloom's Icy Wind and Ferrothon. But Ferrothon seems to be like as important over here as Drift Bloom was against Austin's match in Sandy versus Austin. Is the stream now consistent? I'm really on a string here waiting for our shoutcasters just to confirm whether things are visible across or not. Okay, all right.
Okay, so
Okay, so visible across for you guys now.
It looks something like this.
All right. Okay, so this is actually the previous matchup which was playing where we see Stunfisk almost clutching the win, but at the back over there you have Alolan Ninetales. So I think the stream is running fine on YouTube at least. I hope you guys are able to see the screen. And here we finally go into the second match, what we were actually waiting for, and we did the entire rewind. So we have Sandy taking across the lead, and here is our second match. So this time it is Stunfisk versus Pelipper. So Sandy making a very good prediction, very good call across over here. You see an instant swap to Toxicroak, but Stunfisk is already farmed extra on those mud bombs, and these mud bombs will be dealing super effective. So Toxicroak deciding to shield, and he takes out the Stunfisk from the mix so that he can catch that mud bomb on this Ivysaur. However, the opponent decides to bait with a mud bomb, calls that bait, and goes for a second mud bomb. Ivysaur ideally should shield over here because that mud bomb might be enough to sort of take it down. Right. And here he goes for his Power Whip. This should be resisted. However, Toxicroak decides to invest a shield. He should be able to get to another Mud Bomb quite quickly over here. Will Sandy decide to shield this? No, he decides to let the Ivysaur go. Will probably come back in with a Skunk Tank, and with no shield to protect that Toxicroak, this Mud Bomb should be enough to take it out. We know at the back he has Pelipper, but apart from that, if he has brought in that Ferrothorn, no, he's brought in a Alolan Ninetales, and he swaps out to Pelipper. It's a Pelipper versus Empoleon. So Nessa, what you were talking about, we are going to find out here. So he goes for Drill Peck, which should deal neutral damage. And it does quite a bit of neutral damage. Pelipper is just not that bulky. Weather Ball would be resisted, and it doesn't really deal much damage. That steel typing on Empoleon really helping it. It should be able to. Okay, it's trying to go for that Hurricane straight. It goes for that Hurricane, and Empoleon decides to shield. So good call on that particular thing. It should be able to comfortably just waterfall it down, but decides to go for that Drill Peck, believing it should be able to reach another charge move. So good call. I think that very good understanding by Sandy here. Out comes that Alolan Ninetales. It should be able to farm it down. White Walker has extra energy, no shields on the other side. and he decides to go for this. Discharge should not be enough to take out this Alolan Ninetales. Yeah, and he's going straight for that Ice Beam. This Ice Beam should be enough to take out that Stunfisk. So White Walker here is seems to be taking an early lead against Sandy, and second match didn't even have Ferrothorn. Uh, Damn. So Nessa, what do you have to say for this?
I'm wondering right at the end if the keeping the Empoleon in, let the Ninetales build up energy. I'm wondering if switching immediately that Stunfisk could allow him to get 2 charge moves and change the match slightly.
If he had switched in earlier, but I guess he was constantly afraid of that Ferrothorn to be there at the back, and he probably wasn't expecting that Alolan Knight.
No, I mean right at the end after the Empoleon killed the Pelipper. Because he stayed in trying to reach the Hydro Cannon and died with it charged. I'm wondering if switching immediately to Stunfisk again would have been the best play.
Right. That might have been actually a better play. But right now, Sandy seems like he needs to go for an uphill climb. What about Shiv? What do you think? What do you think, using Alolan Ninetales as a safe swap here, which White Walker is doing? I think it's really playing in favor for White Walker. What are your thoughts of how do you think you should counter that particular Alolan Ninetales here if you were Sandy?
He has the counters. He has the Empoleon and the Ivysaur.
Ivysaur with the Sludge Bomb.
It looks something like this.
Are you guys connected across? I think my Discord is having slight bit issues, so hence the other shoutcasters are going to face slight bit of a problem. Sorry about that, but I think at least the stream on YouTube should be going across fine. So I'll jump on
The
to
stream on YouTube is going good.
Okay, fair enough. So I'll jump on to the third match. I'll let the Discord thing sort itself out, so that you guys are also smoothing, streaming smoothly. So I'll jump on to the third match. Let's see how it is. Sandy needs a win across on this one. And we see a Drift Bloom lead for Sandy against Ferrothorn. Again across over here. Okay, so we've seen how well Drift Bloom did in the first match. Going straight for that Icy Winds, hit debuffs, shield the first attack, I guess, from Ferrothorn, but Ferrothorn here decides to bait with a Power Whip, and Drifloom decides not to shield. Oh, that's a very good call across here. So, reduced Power Whip, not doing all that much of a damage. He goes for a Thunder the second time around. Will Drifloom shield this? Yes, he decides to shield. So very good call on that shield here. So Sandy really playing this to the peak. Farmed extra, going for that Icy Wind. The opponent decides to shield here. So maintaining shield for both sides. He's trying to save his Ferrothorn. Will he go for a swap out? He goes for a Thunder. Before he goes for a Thunder, the Drifloom actually reaches another Ice Wind. This will it be? No, it won't be enough to KO it, but it heavily reduces the attack of Ferrothorn. So he decides not to shield Drifloom. This should not be enough to KO it, but really brings it down low, and it should be able to fast move Ferrothorn down. Oh, Ferrothorn is able to reach another Power Whip across over here. Wait, this does seem quite similar to the first match. Are we actually playing the first match across over here? I think this is sort of the first match which is going off again. Yeah.
It looks something like this.
Okay, so I think accidentally for the third match, we actually had the first match replay across over there. I think this third semi-final is where it's getting a slight bit stuck on the most. Yeah, so this is pretty much the same gameplay around overall. Yeah, so this is actually apparently I think the first match got replayed into the third one across. However, this match should be ending anytime right now with the win for White Walker. Right. This should be the proper third match. Yeah. So this is a third match where we see an Ivysaur lead into Ferrothorn. Unlikely matchups. Ideally, Ferrothorn should be winning this because of the steel typing, which will resist a lot of this attack. Sludge Bomb is really not the way to go, I would say. It should be a resisted attack because it double resists steel, double resists poison, and grass is weak to it. Ferrothorn just needs to go with plain Power Whip here. Okay.
The Power Whip's a double resisted, whereas the Thunder's a single resisted, so Thunder is the right move.
Acha, right, correct. Thunder would be the right move. But bringing in Alolan Ninetales against Ivysaur, is that really the right play? And I think Ferrothorn wins those matches when it has Flash Cannon on it against an Ivysaur or a Venusaur, right?
You'll have to see this one.
Yeah, I think that's it probably would have been better to stay with the Ferrothorn.
Yeah, but it was successfully able to charm it down. This White Walker's Alolan Ninetales is really kind of coming into play here.
It looks something like this.
But he had to expect
Yeah, he had
a
to
lot of
expend.
shields. But
Yeah, he had to expend his shields across for it. But the opponent is right now with extra shield. So, he brought in his Ferrothorn, and here you have Driftbloom, and goes for that Thunder. Will Driftbloom shield? Now it doesn't shield, and this Thunder is not debuffed. It does a ton of damage against Driftbloom. It decides to save that shield. It is able to reach a Power Whip. This Power Whip will be enough to take it out. And at the back you have Stunfisk. So Stunfisk is probably going to try and shield those Power Whips. Go for double Mud Bomb here. Double Mud Bomb should be enough to take out that Ferrothorn. And opponent just got into that Power Whip. Oh, he'll have to shield this one. Is he going to try for a farm down? I think he already clicked it. Yeah, he had already clicked it. I mean, I really hate when this happens,
I think he did, yeah.
He'd undercharged it. He tried to farm, but I don't think he was able to get any fast move in on it. And but still, these mud bombs will be coming in much quicker for Stunfisk than Toxic Rogue. and it does a chunk load of damage. Toxic Croak able to get to that, and I think this will be enough to take out that Stunfisk. Yeah, it's enough to take out that Stunfisk, and oh, well, great play by White Walker here. I mean, he's really able to use that Alolan Ninetales to his play extremely nicely. Yeah. I mean, I am impressed across on that. What do you guys say?
Yeah, that was a really nice play.
I mean, we were all putting our bets on Ferrothorn, and all of us kind of missed on that Ninetales. It's just a very good safe swap overall, it seems. I mean, if you have shields, you're able to invest shield. Charm is pretty much affecting everyone, and that psychic damage is overall good in general.
I was counting on Empoleon.
I guess probably he didn't bring in Empoleon, fearing the excessive grass types which we are seeing in these matchups, maybe. So right now, White Walker is clearly taking this by the stride. Let's continue across on the matchup and see. So here we have Driftbloom versus Steelix. Okay. So probably go straight Shadow Ball, like Icy Wind once and Shadow Ball, or maybe Shadow Ball. Maybe they'll think you're expecting a bait. I would probably just throw a Shadow Ball and get out of there. So Sandy trying to make use of that Driftbloom. So good call. The opponent was probably expecting. He was not able to switch. He was clicking on that switch, not able to make that switch happen. And shield gets invested, and then that switch sort of comes through. He tried to catch that crunch, but oh man, that's just unfortunate. So Stunfish now comes in and is facing off against Alolan Ninetales. I mean, I don't think Sandy has an answer to Alolan Ninetales here. He probably should go straight Discharge, but he's going Mud Bomb against Alolan Ninetales. What do you say, Nessa? Is it Mud Bomb or Discharge which will be a better move against Ninetales?
Higher DPE, but as Mud Bomb obviously is 5 energy less, so it kind of depends on the matchup.
Right.
You need to know how many of each move you need to kill. Like if too much, it's something you need matchup knowledge over.
So we just saw that Discharge sort of does like almost 50% damage, and Mud Bomb does something like 35-40%. So it's kind of like you said, very much a scenario based on what you want to sort of use. If you are able to throw just one Mud Bomb, then it's better to go for that Discharge probably. So here we see an Ivysaur come out and be countered by Toxic Rogue. And that Power Whip actually does a lot of damage despite being resisted. And a swap you see over here, the Toxic Rogue was really and he's able to catch that
Toxic Rogue is a good Pokemon.
Yeah, a very good swap, and he's able to catch that charge move, and that Mud Bomb on that Toxic Rogue goes to waste. But he's able to get to one more. Oh wait, Ivysaur got his charge move ready. And
Yeah, that was a really nice transfer.
right, and but over here, White Walker is much ahead in terms of energy. Now both of them are without shield. You see a swap coming in with Steelix. And just as Steelix got ready to his crunch, Ivysaur got to its Power Whip. That Power Whip should be enough to take it out, but then at the back you have Toxic Rogue with And with 1 HP remaining, Toxic Rogue is able to get to that mud bomb. Oh shit. Oh, this was a. Oh my god. This was an insane killer match, man. This was an insane killer match. That came down right to the wire. Swaps, sack swaps on top of swaps. I mean, that was insane. That match definitely deserved a semi-final spot. I think that was one of the best matches I had seen so far. I'm not sure whether the shoutcasters were able to see it along with me. Did you guys see it?
Yeah, that was a very good match.
Right now, if somebody asked me towards the end of the stream which was the best match, so far, I mean, the finals are still pending, but White Walker versus Sandy, that particular matchup is going to be on my top list. I think White Walker is consistently winning these matches here quite well. I think he has probably won the set between the two. So here we have the remaining matches between White Walker and Sandy. So we are actually finally getting a chance to see Alolan Muck come into play here. So let's see how that kind of goes across. So it's Empoleon versus Alolan Muck. So Alolan Muck able to get to those charge moves quicker, but he is over farming here. Empoleon's Hydro Cannon should be dealing quite a bit of damage. I'm imagining had Muck gotten that Community Day move of Fire Punch, I'm not sure what you guys have voted across, but it could be quite interesting in terms of the different baits and switches which it could do. So a double shield. So okay. So he decided to shield his Empoleon, trying to get to.
It's interesting.
The Fire Punch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now we see the Muck investing both its shields just so that it can maintain switch advantage. And he's able to throw a Dark Pulse across as well. The opponent decides not to shield. Can it get to a second Dark Pulse because it almost had that energy? No, it's not able to do that. It just had barely any life left. And he decides to bring in Pelipper. This has to be a mistake. He misclicked. Oh, no, he baited it out. Did you see? He brought in Pelipper to bait out that discharge and brought in Toxic Rogue. Oh my god, that's an amazing play. That was fantastic to see. Sandy getting baited out across on that White Walker. White Walker is playing amazingly. So he brings in his Drift Bloom. Toxic Rogue here.
It's going to be hard to.
True. Toxic Rogue is pretty much here being fodder for the other team. Going for that Weather Ball. Probably will try to farm up on as much as he can. These Weather Balls should be dealing a lot of damage against Stunfisk as well. But the opponent has shields. He's not able to get the shield. White Walker is not able to get the shield. Stunfisk with one shield against Pelipper, it should be game over. But this was a really good try by White Walker on some of the. So Sandy probably taking across a win on this particular match, and we've actually kind of pretty much almost kind of come down to the finals. So we have in our finals Austin versus White Walker, and so checking into our final match up, we see Austin versus White Walker here. The fight for the championship is on, We have White Walker on the left and Austin on the right. This is going to be an amazing match. White Walker was the first guy to get all the 8 badges in Tower of Mastery. Austin Prince being the one of the highest rated gym leaders with the most amount of win percentage. I think if we had to pick a champion, it had to be out of one of these two. And we saw White Walker fight back from the lower brackets, win all those matches. I think White Walker has done the most amount of matches here to come into the finals.
Yeah.
And Austin Prince is here without dropping a single set. He has managed to reach the finals altogether. So I think this is like a cinematic final as it could be, and I am honestly extremely excited here. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, the best gym leader versus the best challenger. We could not have had a better grand finals for the season one of the Tower of Mastery.
Right, and we are pretty much at the grand final matchup here, and we are sort of sticking good to our time as well. And are you guys? I have to ask you. Who is it that you think is going to take it here? And right now, my mind is all boggled up because these guys are able to take wins where we do not expect any, and they are finding such matchups as what can I say? So, what do you guys think?
I,
Also,
I,
say that they're very good match game.
Yeah, Shiv.
For this matchup, I think Austin is having a very favorable matchup because we have 4 Pokemons actually eat counter to each dash.
Okay. Uh, which would be, I would guess, Steelix, Alolan Muck, Toxic Rogue.
And another line is as well, it's going to stand some advance. I don't think it can also outpace Rishikesh.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Pelipper, I think it will lose to Pelipper overall.
And of course, to Marathon and Pelipper are going to be more countering Rishikesh.
But that Mud Bomb is actually going to deal a lot of damage to Ferrothon as well because it would be, I guess, super effective against Ferrothon. I think over here, your Fortress might be a good play across in this particular tournament over here in this particular matchup for Austin.
Just to stay away from the Pelipper because it can't really do much at all in damage to Pelipper.
It's actually a very good match because nothing can actually beat both Pelipper and Marathon. So he needs to align his performance very well.
What about Fortress? Fortress over here, with the bug bite and everything, it could actually deal some amount of damage against these mons as well.
I've got mirror shot.
I'll just see it's 3 motions. It's one slot in Marathon, and another will be Pelipper, and other 4 Pokemon will be on the third slot.
I think White Walker is going to bring the Charmer. He'll bring that Ninetales. That Ninetales has been helping White Walker so much. I think I will expect to see that. What about you, Neza?
I think the Pelipper might be looking pretty decent because it's I can't remember what move Hypno had, but the Pelipper is kind of neutral against it resists the vigorous counters. It's neutral against the Wigglytuff, even the Whiscash, the Blizzards are neutral. Maybe the Dragonite is its worst matchup, but the Hurricane plus the Wigglytuff still do decent damage if you can land Hurricane. It walls the Ferrothon, and yeah, the Hypno, I can't remember the moveset, but I'm quite liking the look at the Pelipper on Wild Wolf's days.
Nice.
The Hypno had elemental punches on.
Correct. It had fire and
punch
thunder.
Oh, it does a Thunder Punch. That's going to prove very useful against
And it has fire. So Hypno
Yeah,
is
so
going to be
that's
good against both Ferrothorn and Pelipper.
Marathon and Pelipper. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I can hit the Steelix with the Fire Punch as well.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And Alolan Ninetales.
And Ninetales, it's just got to watch out for the Mug.
Wait, so Hypno is going to be overpowered here. Hypno is going to take care
Yeah.
of Toxic, Pelipper, almost everyone.
Yeah, 4 months actually.
5.
Test the Mug.
So, I mean, all of a sudden, I am looking at the Hypno, which has been quite inactive throughout the tournaments. I am starting to see that really come into the play in the finals here against White Walker.
Yeah, I mean the unique moveset that he has on it is allowing him to,
Get that coverage.
get that coverage.
Totally. The Fire Punch actually does half the job also. The Ferrothorn, Steelix.
Yeah.
They also get hurt.
Exactly. That's why 5 Mons out of 6. So, time to place your bets, guys. My vote, I am going to go with, I really like White Walker's team. And honestly, I'm sort of cheering for White Walker across over here. But the way I've seen Austin play around, and with that elemental punches, I think I'll go with Austin on this.
Yeah, like even for me, I really feel Austin can take it home.
They can both build decent lines, but that Hypno, having thought about each matchup, that Hypno does it very strong. Because as long as it's paired with something that you do load up, and it doesn't get locked into the load map itself, it's going to be very easy to build cores around that Hypno.
True.
There is very little room for error for White Walker, and if he plays properly, he can win it. But yeah.
Yeah, he needs to get that Alolan Muck on that Hypno pronto, anyways or the other. So, I mean...
so the question is, does Alolan Muck make Hypno or not?
So, Alolan Muck with its dark, with its Snarl and everything, it should be able to take out Hypno, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely it's an easy matchup for Alolan Muck. I mean, if it had Focus Blast, then might be able to knock it out in one, hit. But the punches aren't that powerful, so that
Thunder and Fire isn't really going to do much over here.
Yeah.
Right. So
Steelix might as well. So you can contrast the Resistant Confusion and Super Fire Punch. Steelix might be the
correct.
I'm not completely sure.
Right. It becomes a playable matchup overall. But I think at the back over there, you'll be having the Dragonite sort of come into the play as well. So, I mean, a lot of these things here. So, Ness, you are supporting, your support goes across to Austin. I think the whole team. Wait, Shiv, are you with White Walker or are you with Austin on this one?
Definitely Austin.
Yeah.
So like everyone is going for Austin. You did realize that these are two players who are known to fight back from an unfavorable matchup. So it is anyone's game. I am cheering on White Walker on this, but however, I feel Austin might be coming on top. It's time to hit the finals for the Tower of Mastery, and none other than the best candidates are there. It's time to watch the final matches. On to the matches. Okay, sorry. Matches start now. All right. So we have White Walker on the left, Austin on the right.
It looks something like this.
Okay, so here we see a Ferrothorn go off against a Fortress. So this is what I was also suggesting, that the bug type fast move can be quite good across over here. He's going to go straight for earthquake. So basically, either KO it or get a shield, and this earthquake should be able to take out that Ferrothon. Oh, it actually does not. It's
I think it probably does about 50-60%. Yeah.
yeah, but at least Fortress gets a chance to farm it down. It doesn't really need to shield even the Thunder all that much, but it decides to shield. Probably because with that additional health, it should be able to get to another earthquake maybe. So out comes Pelipper. So he'll go for the mirror shot here. Won't really do all that much damage.
Just try to get the attack drop again.
So I think he'll just probably try to spam mirror shot and let Hypno kind of come into play against Pelipper. But if Pelipper is able to just simply farm down Fortress, it would be trouble.
The attack drop.
Oh, the attack drop, now. And he chooses to, use a bit of that energy. Out comes, yes, Hypno is there. What will it do? Will it just simply farm it down? It decides not to shield. Hypno is just one of those. Yeah, it's not doing much damage at all. Out comes Alolan Ninetales, and here's where you have the fire punches. The opponent decides to shield, expecting a Shadow Ball, I guess, but still nonetheless, out comes Vigoroth. So Vigoroth's counter is actually going to deal neutral damage against Alolan Ninetales, and the charm is also going to be neutral. So Body Slam dealing a lot of damage here. So surprising to see that a mon which you're using as a fighter can be countered against another charmer out over there. So decides to invest his last shield over here, farm down, gets that extra energy for Bulldoze, where the opponent has to shield over here. So
there's not much. There's not much. Not many ways out of this. I think that's it.
Right, this Weather Wall should be enough to take out that Vigoroth. However, it just doesn't have all that health left. Out comes Hypno and just one Confusion down. And that was fairly comfortable in terms of for Austin here to sort of take a win across on that. Alright. Oh, I think I got the names the other way. Okay. For the second match, we actually see a Dragonite lead into an Alolan Ninetales. So good call across over there. You see a swap come in, but he doesn't seem to have an answer for Vigoroth here. So Vigoroth seems like the safe swap for Austin in this particular match. And I think he is going to probably save across that Hypno in the back for when the shields are down and it has the shield advantage and everything. And Pelipper, so Pelipper going across for those weather balls. Goes for the second weather ball, so double weather ball. Will it be enough to take out that Vigoroth? I don't think so. Yeah, Vigoroth is still alive, but it should not be able to get to another charge move and will be farmed down by Pelipper. So Pelipper has so many close matches overall and it needs those shields. Decides to go for a weather ball, it won't really be doing much damage. And yeah, the Dragonite is able to comfortably farm it down. He will bring in that Alolan Ninetales. Doesn't really need to shield the dragon. It will be resisted
I can't see that.
yeah. So there you
Yeah, that's
see
it. I can't see a way out to the Dragonite.
and there you see Steelix. So this was a Steelix match which we were talking about. If Hypno goes straight for that fire punches, it has an extra charge. Fast move it had done. It's dealing 30% damage, I guess, 25-30%. But these crunches, it decides to shield.
I think the Steelix probably wins it, and even if it doesn't, the Alolan Ninetales is just gonna. Kevin, the Steelix can probably save the shield for the Alolan Ninetales, and the Alolan Ninetales will clean up, but I don't think there's a way out of this.
Right. And unless, what if Dragonite is able to come farm it down and then throw a Hurricane on Ninetales? I mean, it still could go either ways. But
I think. Well, they saved the shield, so it's not going to happen. But maybe if they use the blast shield,
yeah, but he has that shield.
Then the Dragonite would have had a chance.
Correct. Yeah, he had the shield. There was nothing which could be done. So he just needs to shield this, and it'd be pretty much White Walker taking the second match on this. So nice match across on this. Very good call. I mean that Alolan Ninetales is really coming into play. I wasn't expecting. I mean, I'm having a newfound respect for Ninetales. I mean, I liked it. I found it to be okay, good, but I'm really seeing it shine across over here.
Yeah, it's been doing surprisingly well. Yeah.
Okay, what do you think is going to be the lead in the third match? Quick prediction, guys, very quickly. Oh wait, it shows your shit. So it shows Whiskash. What do you think White Walker is going to bring?
Maybe Pelipper.
It'd be good if he does bring Pelipper. It's the hardest. It's one of the harder Whiskash chances.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get into the head of these players here. I actually have no idea what he would probably bring because I'm confused in terms of the matchup a bit. I think Steelix maybe. Diamond, any inputs?
That's not legit.
Yeah, like I don't think he would lead Steelix. I feel like he would lead Pelipper as well.
Ness, what about you? Ferrothorn.
So that I mean, you can gamble that the person sticks with the lead or they change the lead, but really your lead has to balance with the rest of your team. So you can't just pick a lead. It depends on the whole plan that Austin's going on.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out what is their plan. What are they trying to counter strat against these two? Because for one thing, we know that these two players are trying to get inside each other's head and trying to bring them on. So here you see Austin bringing in a Whiskash, which is sort of unexpected slightly because he's not expecting a Ferrothorn on the other side. So maybe he expects a Pelipper or something. Let's see. So anyways, let's get into the match. And match number 3, we have White Walker and Austin on 1-1. Match 3, here we go. And it's a Pelipper. So Pelipper should be doing well against Whiskash. So you see a save swap into a Hypno come in. Is Pelipper trying to go?
There is some logic there because if Hypno is the safe spot, its problem is the Muck and Steelix. So you lead the Whiskash in case they have the
True.
Because those are both they can't swap into in case they lead Muck and Steelix.
But he's able to get into a Hurricane to Hypno. It does massive damage. Now, these fire punches are also going to deal a huge chunk of damage. He decides not to shield. Oh my god. White Walker knew that it had fire punch and still brought in the Ferrothorn. I mean, it could have just kept the Ferrothorn safe for that Whiscash at the back. And out comes Vigoroth. So going for that power whip, Vigoroth just needs to shield across over here. And down goes Ferrothorn. And I have no idea how he will be countering. Okay, Pelipper will be a reasonable counter. Okay, so brings in Toxic Rogue because Toxic Rogue is going to be weak against Whiscash. And then you see a Whiscash swap out come in, and the Pelipper kind of come in to take care of that Whiscash. Just go straight for that Weather Balls. He's going for that Blizzard. I think Blizzard will do something like a 50% health of Pelipper.
I think slightly more than 50%, but yeah, it's not enough to kill in one shot.
Oh, it does something like a 65%. It does a
It might
huge.
be a farm it down, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was unexpected. And gets into another mud bomb, goes against Toxic Rogue. Oh, he should have saved that Ferrothorn for that Whiscash, man. I have no idea why he did not do that. He probably had faith in his Pelipper that Pelipper will be able to take care of that Whiscash, but shit, that Blizzard really did some damage. And this mud
Yeah.
bomb,
That was more like 70% damage, I guess.
yeah, I mean, this Whiscash totally destroyed across on White Walker here. So, I mean, extremely well played. I mean, really good use of Whiscash across over here, I'd say. So, right now, we are at Austin 2, White Walker 1, right? This is a game point for Austin. One more, and Austin will probably win it. It is getting slightly nerve-wracking. What do you guys say?
She should have shared the same with her account. Another would have done the same. Yes.
I know. I was like, why bring that across over there? Because and especially not shield when you know that Hypno has Fire Punch, because you've played that in the earlier match. But like, okay, maybe he missed it out, and maybe he was not aware, or maybe it was a calculated play which did not pan out this time. So let's see how our fourth match kind of goes. Austin on game point. White Walker needs one to equalize and a fifth one to win this. So let's go. Okay. Okay, we see a selection of Alolan Ninetales happening across on this. So even the matchup videos building suspense. And you see a Hypno lead into a Pelipper. Alright. Positive lead for Austin. So probably White Walker can just shield and just try to spam weather balls as much as possible.
Does he know it has Thunder Punch? Say it.
But he should be able to get to 3 weather balls. But weather balls are not really doing all that damage. So he's able to get to one more.
Okay, decides to shield.
Gets to a second Thunder Punch.
It looks something like
This he decides to let his Pelipper go. I'm not sure whether he has anything to counter. I think he has a Steelix to counter it. So he can comfortably bring in that Steelix. Oh, he decides to bring in the Alolan Ninetales. Okay. He wants to try to farm it down. He decides to shield. He knows that it's a Fire Punch now. He knows it all too well. And decides to go for that farm down. This will net it more energy. We see a response with Vigoroth. So counter doing a reasonable amount of damage across over there. Body Slam will be spamming things across. Decides to shield across this Psyshock. So both teams now without any shields. You see a swap coming in to catch that Body Slam. Good swap there. So Steelix. It was very well timed and very well caught. Steelix is going to try to go straight for the Earthquake. So versus Whiscash, which should be better? Going Double Crunch or Earthquake?
Earthquake's the more powerful move, so I don't even Earthquake won't kill it. So the best it can do is end an Earthquake and then
should do 60.
Then we'll finish off.
Yeah, should do 60% damage, I guess. 50.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Austin over farming. He's over farming. Oh, he's over farming. That he has an extra mud bomb ready across for 9 days. Yeah. That's just good enough play across over there. This might be enough to sort of take it out across. Yeah. Barely enough, but that Whiscash, man, that Whiscash is dealing so much damage across the line run. So, I mean, guys, this kind of basically means that Austin is 3-1 over White Walker.
Yeah, this means that Austin has clinched the title of champion.
Yeah, Austin has won the Tower of Mastery. He is the champion across, but for due respect to the gameplay, we will watch across the final match as well to see how that actually also goes. So before we kind of start congratulating Austin across, let's see the final match. And obviously White Walker here, brilliant gameplay, brilliant coming back across from the lower bracket. Let's jump directly into the final matchup here between Austin and White Walker. You see a Toxicroak lead against a Vigoroth. Positive for Toxicroak here. He should be able to counter Vigoroth down. You see a swap coming into Fortress and a Pelipper being the answer to that. Yeah, so it can just go directly.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
This is quite an easy win for the Pelipper.
It can farm extra and spam against the next one which comes in. It can probably just straight farm down as well, right?
Maybe a left use one with the ball, but it'll be able to come up with that.
Yeah, might as well just farm down. He decides to throw the charge move as well.
Yeah, that's a good catch, yeah.
Oh. He could have gone for that Hurricane. Hurricane would have, but probably better to go for 2 Weather Balls than.
This is a debuff. This is a debuff to Weather Ball.
Yeah. He will probably shield this. No, he does not shield. Okay, takes a Body Slam to the face. Goes for a Mud Bomb. Sometimes you don't realize how glassy toxic rogue sometimes can be. Able to get to one more. This Viscash is really the bane of White Walker over here. He just is not able to get an answer on this guy. And Austin is there with both shields. Both the teams are there with 2 shields. So here comes Ferrothon. You see a
because the Ferrothon is not. Yeah.
And he's able to farm down that fortress across. So do we finally, and he decides to invest his shields across. He should be able to fast move down Viscash with Ferrothon, and finally we might be seeing an answer to this Viscash problem which White Walker has been facing. He, like, after all these matches, he is able to get that Ferrothon in, and Austin just decides to let it go. So that was our final, guys, and amazing matches I saw. I'll still call that Austin versus Sandy to be one of the best matches which I saw. A huge shout out to Austin. Amazing gameplay. You thoroughly deserve this title as the champion for season 1 in Tower of Mastery. Great gameplay. White Walker, really good fight through the entire tournament. You went to the lower brackets, fought your way, close matches with everyone, won some unfavorable ones, and came into the finals. Guys, what are your thoughts?
Actually, White Walker was doing really well, man. Like, even if it's not on the cards, but still he had a very good match.
Like going down in round 1 and going down to the lower bracket and then fighting his way all the way to the finals. That itself is a feat. I mean, he accomplished that. So
maybe these guys should be really careful in choosing threes. That's actually more like even the last match. You can see that Austin actually bench it. He actually gets 5 or 6, but still he doesn't want to play that.
yeah.
True.
And for White Walker, still Philippa and Terraton should be his fourth goals. Even though Austin might be expecting it, he should be able to play it. Otherwise, he cannot actually make plays out of it. Philippa and Terraton will be really good against Viscash. Viscash is like half of the reason why Austin is shined.
Yeah, I mean, that's what really took it down. And not to take away from Austin, he actually managed to play it so well that he was able to place his mons correctly against the right mons all the time. I mean, White Walker was just not able to get his Ferrothon or any of those particular mons against that Viscash and everything. Ness, what are your thoughts?
Obviously lost right at the beginning, but then did some nice battles all the way through against some fairly difficult opponents that we saw. So I think even despite losing the last round, does deserve some credit on that.
True. And also, we have to give due credit to that Alolan Ninetales. It kind of came into clutch for White Walker quite a few times. I mean, we were not expecting it, and I'm sure the opponents weren't either.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing because they pulled out some really valuable contributions in some games, but then in some other games it had. We saw it run into some slightly more problems in the final because of its. It didn't resist that counter damage like a normal Charmer would, and its typing was letting it down against the fire punch. So it couldn't farm up even though it had to shield it. We saw it have some surprisingly strong performances, and we did also see its limitations come in.
And right now, you know what's the worst thing? The worst thing is in season 2, all the challengers are going to have Austin as the champion to face in order to win that prize. Diamond, what is the prize pool? What is the prize structure for season 2 Tower of Mastery?
So like for season 2, we thought of giving credit to the gym leaders as well. So we decided to split the typings into 3 tiers: strong, mid, and weak. So we have uh, 1 second. Hello,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we have 3 tiers: strong, mid, and weak. And then in your strong typings, we have steel, dragon, and normal, because they were the most picked in season 1. And not so much dragon, but since it just counters a lot of typings, so we have dragon as well. And then you have bug, ice, grass, poison, and fighting, which are weak. And the mid typings are fire, water, and the rest: ground, rock, dark, psychic, flying, fairy, ghost, and electric. So we decided to grant them credits based on their individual wins. So for the weak typings, we'll be giving them 5 credits per win, and for the mid typings, 10 credits per win, and for a strong typing, 15 credits per win.
So basically,
based on
the stronger the typings in a gym, the lesser credits you get, and if you're using weaker and winning, you kind of get more.
Yeah, it's more rewarding that way. And once you beat all the 8 gym leaders, then we have our own PvP HQ credit system, which rewards battling each gym leader for the challenger. But once you beat all 8 gym leaders, I think this time we have more than 8 gyms. We have 12 gyms. So
so you guys are expanding.
Yeah, we are expanding to 12 gyms this season. We have more gyms. Each challenger will have to beat all 12 gyms, and once they beat all the 12 gyms, then they'll have to face the Elite Four. That is, we have Dark, we have Zubzo, we have Sandy, we have White Walker. These are the Elite Fours, and then the champion. So for every battle, for the Elite Four and the champion, we'll be granting 100 coins for the victor. And yeah, we have unlimited tries on our HQ server, but there will be a cooldown period for every try. So that to ensure each challenger or leader is not overburdened with games.
So basically, if I get it right, it's like you win against certain gyms, you get credits, and you get the badge for that gym, right? And once you have cleared across the gyms, you can fight the Elite Four. And if you beat the Elite Four, you will be able to get direct Poke Coins as rewards. And the biggest reward is if you're able to beat the champion, right? How much would the challenger get if they beat the champion?
Right now, we're thinking about 400 coins if you beat the champion.
Okay. So
and,
kind of coupled with beating the champion and beating the Elite Four, and the other rewards, it would be probably something like 400 plus, quite a bit. Now you're getting 100 per Elite Four, right?
Yeah, 100 per Elite Four. Yes.
So on a basis, almost comfortably like 800 coins, and almost in value up to 1,000 plus coins, right?
Yeah. 1,000 plus coins, that's for sure.
Okay, and this is like open to all challengers, like anyone.
Yeah, this is open to everyone. So international players as well.
Okay.
I mean, even y'all can come on the server. Probably we'll have the link somewhere in the comment section. But
we'll get it
just
pinned
join
in the
up
comment section.
And join up and start battling.
And
I hope you'll have a good time.
Nessa, do we expect to see you across here going off against Austin for the championship? What do you say?
For the next season, yeah, maybe I'll put more. I think I did one gym challenge to see what it was about, but I didn't follow it.
I remember. You tried to battle Toxicity, that is the Bangalore gym, and yeah.
And each of
Well,
these
anyways,
gyms.
we're looking forward to you.
And the thing is, ki you will not find these metas in PV poke or anything. It is all core you, how you
Yeah.
understand the meta, how you are playing against it. So all these individuals whose matches you saw are all people who understand typing so well, who understands the gameplay so well. And that's what brought them across over here. So, I mean, if we talk about raw skills in terms of PvP skills, that's what you see here. And I'm sure we're going to see Shiv Keshav as one daunting gym leader to overcome Ness if you're coming in for season 2. I'll also probably try my hand across. I wasn't very successful against these gym leaders. Let me say these guys are tough. We have, I guess, quite a few elite players as gym leaders across various cities, including Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, Pune, and everywhere. Right?
Yeah, that's about right.
Right.
Like,
I remember.
yeah.
Yeah, so I remember my attempt. I had my ass handed to me by Nihal King. I guess he was a top player in India at that point. So I remember that being my experience. And overall, I think it's a wonderful thing you guys are doing. It's a really fun setup. It's really fun for those who enjoy PvP as a core. And we are not restricting. We love the Sylph Cup. I personally really enjoy it. However, we get a chance to explore more than Sylph in the server which you guys have set up, and I personally enjoyed it. And I think this was a fantastic stream. To have all of you guys. I love the inputs from you guys, Ness and Shiv. Thank you so much for all of that. Any final last words from you guys?
Like a huge thanks to you for like making the stream happen. Like I'm pretty sure we would not even have dreamed of streaming the Tower of Mastery Championships finals. That to live and shoutcasting them with the shoutcasters that we have here, and this really would not have been possible without you. But yeah, overall, really big congratulations to Austin Prince as well, like being the champion. And yeah, like I hope we get to see a lot more matches, against Austin Prince real soon. Like a lot more challengers challenging Austin for the title of champion. A big thank you to Nessa as well, like for taking your time. I'm sure you're in Britain, like the pings and all must be really high. You must be experiencing a lot of lag and stuff, but still, like you stuck with us, and yeah, that's really big thank you. And yeah, like Shiv Keshav, you too, like staying up for like 3-4 hours, helping us in the stream as well, setting up stuff. A really big thank you to you as well, and to all of our viewers. Like, thanks a lot for watching. I hope we interested you with all these matches, and I hope we have more.
I'm like really sorry for all the glitches and lags and everything. All of I know all the admins with PvPHQ, everyone was literally just pitching in from every angle to make sure that the stream was running smooth and clear. However, there are technical issues which happens, but I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I really loved working with these guys. I really think what is happening in this server is really fun. There are a lot of good servers which you'll find all over the places. They have good PvP battles. I have a personal taste in terms of finding something unique, something new, and I like to showcase those things in my channel, and that's how I probably got associated with HQ, especially in this particular Tower of Mastery. I really want to hear a few last words from you guys, Ness and Shiv, please.
It's an impressive thing for a community to run to have. You have the whole gym structure, and then this stream itself. A lot of communities wouldn't stream because it's not just a self competition. It's a competition specific to the server itself. A lot of communities wouldn't have a setup like this. So just going in the stream and getting to view a different set of battles on its own format. It was definitely definitely an interesting thing to be part of.
Right, and Ness, thank you so much for actually taking out the time and joining with us and staying with us throughout the stream. Shiv, final word from you, man. I think we are having a bit of connection issues. I mean, even at the ending, we have a bit of connection issues. That's what sort of happens from time to time, I guess. I think we are back.
Like they are working really hard to bring out innovative idea of PvP. They are trying to evolve it as much as possible and give out unique battles to people. Even in the draft tournament, they on the spot banned top 20 ones and made a new meta in the draft tournament, and it was very unique. Like I was watching the draft live, it was not very easy to draft. Like people were doing it on the spot and still trying to make around a team to compete with others. And
It looks something like this.
All right. Looks like we are having a bit of lag across in our Discord channel, but I think Shiv was really talking